this report, and he assured me that some Simon's down in Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. Good afternoon, good evening, folks. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. This is Chris live in central Pennsylvania on Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Momentous day in some respects for some folks. We're going to talk a lot this hour about the press council's decision to vindicate Renaldo Gouws from the Democratic Alliance, a member of parliament, and a, well, at the moment, former content creator on social media like TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Let me address everybody in the chat very quickly. Then we're going to get into the story with Renaldo. I'm going to read to you some of the conclusions out of it. Also talk to you a little bit about the decision. Now, this is not a legal case from a standpoint that the South African Human Rights Commission has taken Renaldo to court over bogus claims that he spewed racial language, racial hatred. That's totally fictitious, and this case, no doubt, will bear on that information. So we'll see what happens if they drop their case. But the Independent Online, the media house run by Iqbal Serval, has been castigated. They have been given a PK. They've been smacked hard for their shameful journalism, if you want to call it journalism, in this story. As I said at the time, this story was an intentional hit piece that was run after the government of National Union was in negotiation to form it, and Renaldo was already on the list. This was not a secret. He was announced on the list. This information was timed to cause the most disruption in South African politics and to slander and to libel a member of parliament. That's what the purpose of it was. The video in question was already surfaced twice in the past and dealt with both times by the media and never caused an uproar or furor like this. The statements by multiple social media commenters, particularly on YouTube, also multiple media outlets led by the charge by the Independent Line, calling Renaldo Gouws a racist and saying that his video is racist. They will rue the day that they put their foot in their mouth before asking legitimate questions. The first question I asked when this arose is, what? When is this video from? Is that the entire video? Did someone alter it? That was the first question I asked. Did someone alter the video? Now, Renaldo and the DA, for their part, fumbled across this. At least that's how it came across in the press. They came across as saying that, well, it's a deep fake or it's AI or it's something like that. That never should have been the commentary from the DA. What the DA should have said is that we have not seen the video. We must review the video in question and see what it's about. And then they would have discovered pretty quickly that it was an altered video, that the video had been edited to intentionally make it lead. First off, you look at the video, Renaldo is clearly not the same guy we're looking at today. This is from 15 years ago, number one. Number two, the story had been exposed in the past. It was part of a documentary on young YouTubers who are frustrated with South Africa, aired a dozen years ago. Also raised against him a few years ago by someone trying to undermine him, and it was brought up in the press and it was dismissed because there's nothing to it. Now, I've just read through again today some of the op-ed pieces written by prominent black supremacists in South Africa, published on the Independent Online and other places, who are making the argument that Renaldo's argument was educational is simply disingenuous. That's not disingenuous, it's a statement of fact. The gentleman who made the comment said there's no context. Well, of course there's context. You're a liar, you're a race hustler, and quite frankly, you're probably a racist at that. You probably think that one group of people is better than another. The fact that this thing has ever gained any steam shows you just how much people use race, and most of the people using it are white liberals and black supremacists who use that. Reading another article today in Al Jazeera about black liberation. Black liberation? I'd like to be liberated from racism, from the liberals and from black racists. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you judging people for who they are. The reason why this story gained traction, the reason why Renaldo got so much hate, the reason why this was in the press so much is because the default position of far too many South Africans and Americans, particularly black, but not exclusively black, the default position is that a white person is racist, simply on the basis of being white. Why? Because they've been told for decades that they're victims. They have no agency, that they're being held down by the man. The man? What man? There's no white man in anything. We have no control of anything. Everything's run by everybody else. So who's holding you back? Nobody's holding you back except your own victimization, your own wallowing in self-pity. That's the bottom line here. So this default position that white people are racist is in fact itself racist. No one is by definition and by existence racist. Racism is a learned illness. It's a learned mental defect. It is a learned behavior. People don't pop out of the womb going, oh, look, it's a white person. Oh, it's a black person. They don't do that. They are trained, they're inculcated, they are educated, they're misled by those around them, particularly parents and family members, but also schools and universities and corporations. Freelance Kate, see, this is, again, my videos don't get any traction. My video should already had 30,000, 100,000 views. If Citizen Concern makes a video like I did today, she'll get 150,000 views. Watch, guaranteed. If Sila Ngobisi makes a video like I did today, he'll get 100,000 views. I have 3,000 views. The first person to break the story publicly, I did it. And just 3,000 views. And then people come on my video and go, well, everybody attacked him. I didn't attack him. I also didn't give him a free pass. I was objective and fair. And have remained so. But when people don't see your content because it's hidden by the poo tube, there you go. All right, so let me greet everybody in the chat, then we'll get on this story. And I'm going to read from the press council decision. And I'll tell you the charges that they found against the independent line to have merit. And they dismissed many charges, but their decision for dismissing it isn't legitimate in my book. I understand why they did it from a legal standpoint, because they can't prove the malicious intent of the independent line. But it's clearly malicious intent. They knew for weeks that they had an altered video. They never once ran an article saying that we didn't run the full video. They rushed to judgment. Rather than reaching out to comment and asking Renaldo Gouws about the video, they ran the story calling him a racist in their headline. That is crimina injuria. That is slander. Well, in print, it's libel. Right now, the independent line is probably on the phone with not one, but two law firms defending their pathetic lies. Because they're in some deep kimchi, and the press council, the ombudsman, proves this today. All right, so Monray Siebert's in from Cape Town, George Steinberg in from Heckport, Dylan Combrick, as always, Vilma Erasmus, Charles Van Alton, the voice of reason. Val Cooper's here. Hey, Val. Funk Dunk says, absolutely terrific news. Ronaldo needs to sue the independent line. Leave something for us as they're in our sites, too. Well, excellent, Funk Dunk. Hester Coates said, Brian Lawrenson. Gus is here. Lynette says, good afternoon. Stormy and freezing Cape Town. The winds were pretty strong, too. Definitely snowing in the Cape Province. Yeah, wish I was there right now. Snow. I would kill for some snow right now. What's going on? Did I get a phone call here? Another scam. Let me see. Text message. Another scam. Okay. All right. So, Allison Johnson. Hello. Matthew Dixon, our resident trolls here. Pierre Orban. Greetings from Cape Town. Arc Precision's back. Dylan Combrick. Smee again. Vanner Kruger said, just saw your video about Ronaldo. I feel like a few YouTubers should be held accountable. Oh, I agree, Vanner Kruger. I agree. If YouTube was a legitimate platform like they claimed to be when they censored me a few years ago, which was bogus, but they made the claim they were, they should have been punishing the people who have committed criminal injury against Ronaldo. Yep. And it's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of Twitter. Oh, yeah. You think you can hide behind those anonymous accounts? It doesn't work that way. And the scumbags that attack me and call TV networks lying about me, your day is coming. Robert Rankin, hello to you. Shawnee, welcome. Miss Pumbaa, Dusty, Chantel Boyson, Ulrich Fenter, Major Chronic, welcome to you. And Rhino Razor says, hello, Chris. Chat best news in a long time and reference Ronaldo case. Yep. Can't wait for the apology article. Maybe I should sue them for spelling my name wrong. Yes, Matthew. Actually, I think that, it's time to sue Back a Buddy. It's time to sue the Back a Buddy campaign for breach of contract, for misrepresentation, for fraud. Did Back a Buddy commit fraud by delisting the Ronaldo campaign that Matthew Dixon started? Ask yourself that question, folks. Should Back a Buddy, let's do a poll. Should Back a Buddy be sued? Okay. Okay, I've got three options here. All right, there you go. 3 options for that. You get to answer that one, folks. There's a poll up right now. Yeah, Matthew, I forgot about that campaign. That's right, Matthew. Who else we got here? Brian Lawrence and Sean. Sean, where'd he go? Oh, come on back here. Sean Gunther. Welcome, Sean. Freelance Kate. Freelance Kate is a bit behind the times here. She hasn't kept up with what's going on. They love to play the victim card. Yep. What's happened with Renaldo, says Freelance Kate. Was he found innocent? No, he was found, the IOL was found to be in breach of the press code. Yes, it was announced today by me. By me! I announced it. I'm the one who announced it. It was posted on the press council site, and I broke the story. Yeah, you're right, George. They claim it's 3,000 views. It's probably a lot more than that. YouTube is definitely very good at lying and hiding data. That's a good point. They're saying I have 3,000 views on it. Meanwhile, the Roman video I did, which also broke that story, that one is at 10,000 plus views now. So how are we doing? Let's see. It's at 3,500 views. Yeah, 3,500 views. So, but the number of people watching is dropping by the hour. So, Green Phantom, welcome to you. Gus, what does this mean when comment is grayed out? Means your comment is grayed out. It means it was deleted by YouTube. Garrett said, Chris, I told you before, they definitely take their cues from your podcast, guaranteed. Yeah, I think you're right, Garrett. I think you're right. Oh, Ronaldo's not getting a new wing. Ronaldo's getting a $26 million mansion in the Western Cape. That's what he's getting. That's not true. That was embellishment about what's going to happen with lawsuits. Chris Ehlers, welcome to you. Rick Hearn, hello to you. Is he coming back social media? Well, I can't answer that question, Freelance, but I would doubt it. At this point, I would doubt, given all that's going on, that Ronaldo will be back unless he had very specific constraints. And the question is, then what happens to Ronaldo's channel? I'll tell you what, if Ronaldo is prohibited from doing certain things and he wants someone to keep his channel going with occasional content, then I'll offer to do an occasional video for his channel to keep it alive if he wants that. Okay. So I don't know that he's coming back on social media yet. So please tell me the difference between slander and libel. Honest, serious question. Good question, Sean. Slander is when you say something about somebody. Libel is when you print it. Done and dusted. I can call you a worthless piece of horse manure. You can accuse me of slander. Now, that's not really slander. If I made the following statement, if I said that Sean stole 56 million rand from the VBS bank and I saw him do it, well, that's slander. I'm damaging your reputation because I made something up. It's not true. Now, if you stole 56 million rand from the VBS bank and actually saw you do it and I said it, that's not slander. That's the truth. Libel would be publishing that online or in a newspaper, magazine, or on television. That would be libel. Reno Bota, welcome to you. Good to see you there. Paul Storm, good news for Ronaldo. When does he appear in Parliament? He's already in Parliament. See, that's the thing. The other day, they're trying to keep this story going. The other day, they had nothing. Ooh, racist Renaldo Gouws is in Parliament. He's always been in Parliament. He's never been suspended from Parliament. The government of South Africa never suspended him for any action because he didn't do anything that warranted being suspended. The Democratic Alliance, out of an abundance of caution, suspended him from party activities while they did an internal investigation. And people just can't make that distinction. It's always been very clear. Yep, back-a-buddy checking out when it counted. And I say just don't use back-a-buddy. They're unreliable. Here we go again, says Matthew. Major Chronic says, not a Ronaldo fan, but he got some justice. Well, a little bit, but not enough. It's half a battle won at the moment. The RRC has a mind of its own in these cases. What is the RRC? Race Relations Council? Yeah, the South African Human Rights Council. That's right. That's very clear. I didn't mislead anybody. You got to pay attention to what I'm saying. I never said he won a case. I didn't say he was exonerated. I said he was vindicated. There's a difference. He was vindicated, and IOL has been castigated. We're going to talk about that at length here in just a few moments. So he's won in the press ombudsman, which is the first victory he needed to have. Yep. I wonder if this experience will harden Ronaldo's political views. Probably not. He's still a leftist. Still leftist center. Maybe we should start a back-a-buddy campaign to sue back-a-buddy. I love it. I love it. I love it. And while you're at it, let's go after the polling outfit that did this. Who's the polling guys they ran this poll? Change.org. Those clowns. Werner Kruger says he will use this to just prove that he isn't racist and do his duty as MP. Exactly. What did Light Rain ask? I missed something Light Rain said. What did Light Rain say? I don't see any comment from Light Rain here. So I'm sorry I missed that from Light Rain. Wonder if, that hard. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. I like your Rumble channel better, Joseph says. You do, Joseph? Why? Tell me why you like the Rumble channel better. I mean, nobody watches it. I mean, if people watch it, do it. Your commentary at the time with regards to Ronaldo was excellent. Well, thank you, Funk Dunk. It was accurate, objective, and fair. And I didn't let Ronaldo off the hook. I didn't let him off the hook. And let's be clear about that. That video in question we're talking about was immature in the political environment South Africa. It wasn't immature like Ronaldo was being a child. That's not what I meant. It was immature in the charged political environment where you can't use the K word unless you're a leftist. You can't use the N word unless you're black. You can't say anything like that. So that was the immaturity of it at the time. It was also 15 years ago. The story had been brought up before, but I said the video was immature. It was probably not appropriate, and it was just not smart to do. But it was a long time ago. And Warsmith says, able to catch the live stream for once. Well, I'm glad. I don't know. Why can't you catch my live streams? Is it just a bad time for you? Just a bad time for you? Anyway, it's asking me to put an ad in right now. I'm not going to put an ad in. Oliver, are you saying that in my video at the end, I used the word exonerated? You're correct. I didn't edit it. I left it in there because I said it during the thing. What I'm saying in the title of my video and the thumbnail, which I was able to adjust without refilming everything, I didn't say. I said vindicated. I said vindicated. You are correct, Oliver. To be fair, I did use the term exonerated in the video that I made for Ronaldo. So it shows you watched the video and you're listening. So thank you for that, and also thank you for calling me out. If I state something that's incorrect, I do correct the record, unlike most people on YouTube. I actually correct the record. Yep. All right, so you can't say unless you are aware. Charles is saying that the South African Human Rights Commission will have to drop their case against Ronaldo. They don't have to. Of course they should, but they drop most of their cases. Yep. There's a recent second video, BE email. Huh? What are you talking about? Yeah. So I just got a message from Ronaldo. He was busy working, and I think he's grateful for the video, and but you're probably not going to hear from him yet because he's still got some other stuff going on. Yeah. The irony is that Ronaldo's a leftist. Yes, Charles, he is. He's left of center. Ronaldo is left center. He's not a wackadoodle. He's not some extreme leftist. No, that's not him at all. He's a good, decent human being. He's the kind of person that in the political spectrum we used to have conversations and arguments with about. I mean, Ronaldo has been pro many things that many of my viewers are opposed to. But he's also pro many things my viewers are in favor of. So, Martin K., welcome to you. Yes, Oliver, I did say that. Okay. What is going on with Harley Davidson? Why are people talking about Harley Davidson? That's old news. Did something new happen? Okay, so let me get to this and talk about 155 people currently here. So some of you turning in for the first time in donkey years because you saw the title. Should I use clickbait titles more often? Oh, there's Ronaldo. Thanks for the support and kind words. Also, thanks, Chris, for the cool video. Glad I got vindicated, but still a big battle ahead. Still avoiding socials for that. Exactly. That's what I said. And Ronaldo, Oliver pointed out that I did say, and it was a faux pas slip, because I've been very clear about it in my statements and also in the text for this video and also the thumbnail, that it was not exonerated in a court of law, but vindicated by the press ombudsman, the press council. So I'm going to read from that. Now, I disagree with the press council's conclusions, but I understand why they reached them. It's impossible for them to prove malicious intent on the part of the independent line. They're unable to do that. So they have to dismiss some of the allegations. But the allegations had to be brought to make them investigate them, because if they could have found evidence of it, then it would have been fantastic. But there were 4 charges that were brought against the independent line that the press council, press ombudsman said, yes, they're guilty of these. And they owe certain things to Ronaldo. So I'm going to get to that right now, okay? Radine, I don't think Ronaldo should answer that question, whether he's going to sue somebody or not. That's an inappropriate question from a legal standpoint to answer. You can suggest or recommend that he do or not do it, but it's not appropriate for him to answer that right now. So, so there you go. All right, let me get to it, folks. 157 people currently here. Ronaldo's in the chat. So if you want to send your love or your hate for Ronaldo, feel free to do that right now. Another live hostage has been rescued. Yeah, I have all kinds of news, but the intent of the focus, the early part of this broadcast, will be on focusing on this discussion about the case with Renaldo Gouws. All right, so let me get to that. So very quickly here, I'm going to move it over to another screen so that I am looking at the screen instead of looking away, because I'm not going to put on a screen that's boring for you guys to look at. Trust me, it's not that exciting. So just waiting for the press council site to come up. But I will show you on the screen what it looks like so that you know what I'm reading from. But I don't want you to have to stare at me. So this is what this thing actually looks like on the screen. This is the first story I have for today. Where's my Firefox? There it is. So there we go. See, my software was acting up. It took me a good 3 or 4 minutes to get it started. Sorry for that, folks. Renaldo Gouws versus the IOL, Friday, August 23rd. It was just posted today, but the decision was reached on Friday. Data publication is misleading. It says 19 June, but that's when the allegation or the case was brought. And the headline is "Watch blank, 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 blank," and there's the headline linked to the IOL. And the author here of this decision is Roscoe Palm. Particulars. This finding is based, all right, and this is where I'm going to start reading from it. You don't need to stare at that. So here, I'm going to do this over here. All right, so this finding is based on a written complaint lodged on behalf of Mr. Renaldo Gouws by a spokesperson, a written reply on behalf of the IOL by its editor, Lance Witten, and a written response by the spokesperson on behalf of Renaldo Gouws. Now, the complainant submits the article in question, that one article. There's only one article, not the dozens of articles that the IOL has run since then. So keep that in mind. The complaint by Renaldo was that the IOL article transgressed clause 1.1, 1.2, 1.7, 1.9, and 2.1 of the press code. I'll give you a couple of these. I'm not going to read all of them to you because it will become mind-numbingly boring. But there are certain responsibilities in the press code for South Africa that journalists and media outlets have responsibility for getting correct and for doing correctly. So I'm going to talk to you a couple of those. Here we go. Number one, the most important one. Clause 1.1 of the media charter is that the media shall take care to report news truthfully, accurately, and fairly. Now, they dismiss this complaint, and I disagree, but they have a basis for doing it. And number two, 1.2, present news in a context and in a balanced manner without any intentional or negligent departure from the facts, whether by distortion, exaggeration, misrepresentation, material omissions, and summarization. Now, I will tell you that 1.2, which they dismiss as well because they claim there's no malicious intent because they can't prove it, but clearly the IOL departed from the facts intentionally, with distortion, with exaggeration, clearly with misrepresentation, and obviously with material omissions. They posted a story in which they called Renaldo Gouws a racist based on an altered video. Now, they either knew of that at the time or they didn't know about it at the time. But here's the question. Why did they not contact Renaldo Gouws for comment on this article before they published it? Why did they not ask Renaldo Gouws for the original digits to prove the provenance of the video in their possession? They made no such effort. Therefore, in my view, it was intentional and negligent, distortion, exaggeration, misrepresentation, and material omission of the information. Now, 1.7, section 1.7 says, verify the accuracy of doubtful information if practical. If not, this shall be, they made no effort to verify the accuracy of the information. It was doubtful. Why in the world would you look at a video of a guy who's clearly not the guy who, look, sorry, Renaldo, you're a little chubbier, your face a little fuller, you're a little older, your hair is a little thinner than you were 15 years ago. The mere fact of looking at that video and then going to Renaldo Gouws' channel or social media and seeing that it's not even the same appearance, clearly it's an old video, so it would cast doubt on the veracity of what's being discussed. Why was that never a question raised by the IOL? I think that's a fair question. Don't you? Don't you? It throws doubt on the authenticity right there. Section 1.9, state where a report is based on limited information and supplement once new information becomes available. New information was available almost immediately to the IOL. I had access, as did hundreds of thousands of other South Africans, to the original video within days of this story being published. They did not state it was limited information. They did not state, in my recollection, if I'm wrong, you can correct me, I'll stand on correction. I do not recall them stating that Renaldo Gouws was not available for comment or the Democratic Party was not available for comment on this initially. Don't recall that. This was a National Enquirer, but you were a sensationalist publication back then. It was a Daily Mirror sensationalist Page 3, girl, sort of article, run with intentional malicious intent to damage the character of a member of parliament and his political party to scupper the government of national unity. Done and dusted. What else is the purpose of this? They had time to verify the accuracy of this information. They should have stated clearly that there was limited information, that they were unable to contact the person in question. They were unable to verify the veracity or the provenance of the video. They did no such thing. And they also didn't supplement their story with an updated story. They just continued to race hustle. Section 2.1, do not allow commercial, political, personal, or other non-professional considerations to influence reporting and avoid conflicts of interest as well as practices that could lead readers to doubt the media's independence and professionalism. This perhaps is the most damning of all of the allegations against the independent line. Commercial, political, personal considerations influenced their reporting, which is what they clearly did. Now, the complaint subsequently added clauses 1.3, 1.8, and 10.2 of the complaint in the respondent's submission. The media shall, 1.3, present only what may reasonably be true as fact. Opinions, allegations, rumors, and suppositions shall be presented clearly as such. That wasn't the case. The title of the article was Racist Renaldo Gouws, Racist Video. That's an opinion. It's not a fact. Section 1.8, seek if practical views of the subject of critical reportage in advance of publication, except when they might be prevented from reporting or evidence destroyed or sources intimidated. Clearly, who is Renaldo going to intimidate? No sources to intimidate. He's the source of the video. No evidence to be destroyed because they have an evidence. They have the video. And they weren't prevented from contacting him, such that a subject should be afforded reasonable time to respond. If unable to obtain comment, it should be stated. I don't recall that being done. Section 10.2, photographs and video audio content shall not misrepresent or mislead, nor be manipulated to do so. And that is probably the most damning of all this. That is what exactly has been done here, folks. That is exactly what's been done in this situation. 103 likes, no new members, no super chat revenue. That's fine. And twice in the Today, they referred to Ramon as right-wing controversial. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're right about that, Garrett. They're going to get in trouble there, but that's less an egregious case there. Oh, sorry. It's kind of dim in here. There we go. That's a little bit brighter. Sorry for that. Yeah. So, what else? Did I miss something here? Renaldo says, I really appreciate all the support. Do feel it from all you. Love and peace. All right, cool. Can't stay, but just wanted to say thanks. Have to submit a document for tonight, so thanks anyway. There you go. Renaldo's out of here, okay? All right, so Robert Franklin Moore said, hi, Chris. Renaldo from Windy. Is that GQ? Unfortunately, this finding won't change any bias used. Yes, you're correct about that, Sean. It won't. The fact that the story was published before any chance to respond for no verification facts makes exactly makes him liable and also violates the press code. Yep. Is Renaldo still a DA member? We'll remember. Well, yes, he is still a DA member, and I see no reason for him not to be a DA member. Their subsequent negligence is what makes the story malicious. They also never issued any apology or claim that subsequent information cast doubt in the story. Correct. Correctamundo, Charles. This is an easy win for an attorney. Easy win. I just went and looked into the search today. I can't find the original story on IOL. It's gone. They've pulled it off. But all their subsequent stories, and the reason they pulled it off is because that's the one that went before the press ombudsman. The other stories didn't go to the press ombudsman, but those could go too. So they're not very bright. They should have removed all their stories, but they haven't. They still got lots of titles saying Renaldo's a racist up there. Yep. Oh, yes, we're going to get to this, what's got to go on there. What's got to go on. So let me get back to that story. Let me end the poll because it's disrupting my viewing here. So we got 100 votes. That's good enough. Okay, so basically almost everybody said go after them. Now, a summary of the article. So according to the article, a new video has emerged. The Democratic Alliance MP appeared to be spewing hate speech. That's not exactly what the article claimed. They called him a racist. The article quotes him as saying in the video published on YouTube, blank. He has reportedly come under fire previously as well for utterances that were racial and homophobic in nature. Homophobic? My goodness. Renaldo is like pro-gay. What are you talking about homophobic? DA leader John Steenhuisen referred to Gouws' earlier comments as young and irresponsible, while DA federal chairperson said she would check the veracity. Added that Gouws had no recollection of making such a video, and he suggested it could be generated by artificial means. The video was, according to analyst Andrew Fraser, the video was legitimate. It's not, and it's unlikely it was generated through AI. Well, it wasn't generated through AI. It was altered. See, I raised that from the very moment before I even talked to Renaldo, I raised that issue. It's an altered video, obviously. When he was contacted for comment, he denied he had made the video or he would have used these terms. That was afterwards. Okay, was that in the original article? Anyway, so arguments. So Renaldo said that section 1.2, 1.2, 1.1, 1.2, 1.7, 1.9 of the press code. In his argument, he said he accepts that information can sometimes be incomplete, and this should not prevent the media from publishing. He contends the press code requires this to be clearly stated in the article. He says this was not done in this instance. Correct. He goes on to state that the article relies on a 15-second clip of much longer video. He believes IOL downloaded the full 6 minutes and 22 seconds, but decided to cut it down in order to create shock value, which robbed the story of its full context. Now, they can't prove that, but Renaldo claimed that, and I believe he's correct. He maintains that he knows IOL received the full video based on the steps mentioned in the article itself on how the video was obtained. Okay, well, I don't know that. The complainant further points out that he discussed the rise in farm murders in the video, and he accused economic freedom fighters leader Jules Malema of inciting hate speech through the song Kill the Boer. By using hyperbole, Gouws states he sought to do something similar. However, immediately after doing so, he pointed out that he did not mean anything he just said, which is true. However, he says IOL did not put this or the rest of the video on its website to provide context, which is true. He states that the Kill the Boer lyrics are hurtful to white people, and that 15-second portion of the video asks how black people feel if the roles were reversed and similar words were directed at them, which is exactly what he did. He notes that the longer video has since been posted on social media and offers the context of what was said in the 15 seconds. He adds that the article has not been updated, even though IOL states at the end, this is a developing story and will be updated as more information becomes available. So they're liars. They're liars. He submits that this is unfair and indicates that the news was not presented truthfully, accurately, and fairly, and he believes that by omitting the context, the article misleads readers and unfairly damages his reputation, and he's 100% correct. The complainant also notes that IOL allowed him only 1 hour in which to respond. He believes that this was unfair given the implications of the video, given the fact that he made thousands of videos over the years. Basically, when I said they didn't give him a chance to respond, that's true. An hour is a joke. You give a guy an hour to respond, you give him a week. Unless somebody's going to be harmed, then you call them. He submits IOL's refusal to show him the full video whilst the reporter had it, brings into question the integrity of the article as a whole. This forced him to give a statement that was not accurate. Right, so they called him up about a video, but they didn't show him the video. They didn't let him see the video, and they expect him to comment within 1 hour. He contends that he would have sourced the video and given a proper comment if given a reasonable amount of time. He maintains that media outlets must present balanced and accurate information, especially when dealing with sensitive topics. The complainant requests the article be updated to provide necessary context, request an apology, and for their failure to give him just an hour to respond. He adds that the way they broke the story affected many other outlets as to report on it as unfair. Well, they were irresponsible too, Renaldo. In light of the above, he seeks an apology and retraction and requests that this be visible on the front page of the affected websites as well as their YouTube page. The complainant subsequently added information to his initial complaint which suggests that the author made a statement on his social media that might be considered as lying about where and when he got the videos. He states the author threatened him with this video in a tweet 4 years ago and regards this as very problematic. Aha! Well, there we go. The gentleman I accused of race hustling on IOL, almost every one of his articles is a race-focused article attacking white people, threatened Renaldo 4 years ago. We didn't know that. That's news. 4 years ago, threatened Renaldo. He threatened him and then held on to this. And someone altered the video. Looky there. Looky there. Looky there. Didn't know that part, did we? We didn't know that this guy threatened Renaldo. In view of the above, he calls Clause 2.1 of the press code to be taken into account. He suggests that this aspect of the complaint is of concern for an unbiased and free media. Now, IOL responds. They say the fact that the complainant is a public representative with a large following makes his use of such language all the more abhorrent and newsworthy. But see, that's not germane because he wasn't a member of the public representative when this video was made 15 years ago. And it wasn't him making the statement. So the IOL has no argument here. They claim that they downloaded the full clip before it was published, maintained. What's that? Okay, well, this portion I'm not going to read. So anyway, it goes back and forth because this has gone on for a couple of months. All right, you can read it. I've put the link in the video, my video. You can get to the link and go read the whole thing if you want and learn all about this. But here's the analysis, okay? Let's see what their analysis is. A key aspect of the complaint relates to the complainant's claim that IO uploaded only 15 seconds, 6-minute video on its website and expressed intention of misleading viewers. The respondent maintains that it did not have the longer video in its possession when it first posted the article. If it didn't have the longer video, then it didn't do its due diligence. It didn't seek to get the information. On the basis of the information available, this claim cannot be refuted with absolute certainty. As a result, it cannot be found that IOL is in breach. Well, I believe they're in breach. But yeah, factually, you can't do it. It's of concern, though, that IOL did not upload the longer version of the video, even when by its own account, it subsequently came into its possession, despite a notice at the end of its article that it would be updated. But even if the IOL didn't put a statement at the end that this is a breaking story, it will be updated, it doesn't matter. They have a legal obligation to update the facts. They willfully and knowingly harmed the reputation of a member of parliament for their own gain and lied to the public saying they would update. When they came in possession of the video, which they admitted in this process they didn't update the story. Why? Why would they not update the story? Because it made them look bad? Or because they were running a narrative? A further concern is that even when the IOL did subsequently update its original article, it did not upload the longer video. It merely noted that it has subsequently been made aware of and has seen the full video and added a link that questioned the complainant's argument of context. So they attacked Renaldo after they were exposed as frauds. Now, the issue at stake here is not whether or not the longer video does indeed provide an acceptable explanation or context for the remarks in the 15-second video. The point is that the full version should have been available to viewers in order to allow them to make their own minds about it. Correct. Correct. And that's a key point here when it comes to Renaldo's legal case. Because what's being said here is they're not saying that what Renaldo said or didn't say was right or wrong. What they're saying is that the real issue here is that the readers were denied access to the full information, and the media has an obligation to do that. In view of its failure to upload the longer video when it received it, IOL is therefore in breach of Clause 1.9 of the press code. It failed to include new information when it became available. And there's much more information they failed to apply, but that one there. The complainant does not specifically identify in which respect the IOL was in breach of Clause 1.3 and only raised the aspect in relation to the reference article of hate speech. However, the reference to hate speech in this article is not presented as a matter of fact. The sentence in question claims that the complainant is appearing to spew hate speech. My emphasis. In other words, the reference is clearly presented as an opinion. Yeah, that's factual, but that's a pretty thin line. That's skating the ice pretty closely. There's some really thin ice that they're on there. As such, a reference to hate speech sufficiently meets the requirements specified in Clause 1.3 is not presented as a statement of fact, but as opinion. Yeah, but it's pretty close. There's no evidence IOL is in breach of Clause 1.7. In other words, that it failed to verify the authenticity of the 15-second because they have no evidence of it. Renaldo claims he has evidence, but we don't have the evidence. So it maintains that it did make efforts to check the authenticity and as a result only published the article 4 hours after the 2 p.m. deadline it gave to the complainant to provide a response to his questions. You gave him 1 hour. You didn't give him the video, and you're being responsible. There are no verifiable grounds on which to dispute this claim. Exactly. IOL's assurance that it made its efforts to verify the authenticity of the video must therefore be accepted in good faith. Why? IOL is not acting in good faith. But yes, this is the press ombudsman has no choice but to say that. The complainant further maintains that IOL is in breach of Clause 1.8 in that it gave him just 1 hour in which to respond. He provides credible reasons why he was unable to provide a fully formed response to their questions. While there is some merit to IOL's argument that speed is the utmost importance in digital publishing, the complainant rightly argues that this consideration should not be at the expense of accuracy and fairness. Furthermore, the respondent withheld certain background information about the video from the complainant. No doubt this has made it difficult for him to provide an informed response to their questions. It is only when the complainant refused to give IOL a comment that it provided him with a screenshot and a 15-second clip. This is unreasonable and unfair and suggests that IOL deliberately made it difficult for the complainant to offer an informed response. Exactly correct! This is at odds with the obligation imposed on the media by Clause 1.8 of the Press Code and to allow the subject of critical reportage a reasonable opportunity to reply and is therefore in breach of this clause. The complainant also accused IOL, and in particular the author of the article in question, of bias in contravention of Clause 2.1. He claims, for instance, that the author first threatened him with this video 4 years ago. In support of his claim, the complainant attaches a WhatsApp message from the author dated 11 August 2020 in which he refers to a YouTube video of the complainant allegedly indulging in homophobic slurs. The complainant then asked via WhatsApp message on the same date whether this refers to a 12-year-old doctor video that is surfacing, in other words, to a video that was published in 2008. In view of the fact that the video at the center of the current complaint was published in March 2010, this suggests that a 12-year-old doctor video was not the same video the complainant claims that he was threatened with. Consequently, there are no grounds to support the claim that the author first threatened the complainant. Well, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Clearly, there was an implied threat here, but they can't unequivocally state there was a threat. So, yes, the author did threaten him. Yep. according to his own text messages. The complaint further claims the author put pressure on the website Back a Buddy on social media after it carried a crowdfunding and support him, and cites this as another example. Now, this one's hard to prove. However, the aspect of the complaint falls outside the gambit of the press ombudsman. In terms of press code, their domain is limited to complaints about editorial content that is published by subscriber members. Correct. So there's nothing they can do with that complaint. The complaint, that can go to court. The complaint refers to the author's erstwhile activities in the EFF as another example of his bias. At the risk of stating the obvious, journalists, like all other human beings, have their own opinions and beliefs on a wide range of subjects, including on politics. The critical issue, however, is whether or not a journalist allows those personal views to compromise his or her independence and professionalism. The respondent's breach of Clause 1.9 suggests that this is indeed the case with regard to the video in question. Boom! Slam! Slam! The author at the IOL has been determined to be biased in violating the press code. Wow. IOL did not upload the longer version of the video on its website even after it became aware of it. Instead, it merely noted and added a link to the article which takes issue with the contents and context of the longer video. The preferential treatment of viewpoint expressed in this article also brings into question the independence and professionalism of the respondent. As such, it is in breach of 2.1 of the press code. Boom! Slam! Lastly, the complainant claims IOL is in breach of 10.2 of the press code, which enjoins the media not to misrepresent, manipulate video and audio content. As stated in points 3.12 above, on the basis of the information available, there's no conclusive evidence that disproves IOL's claim that it was not in possession of the full video. Nevertheless, it's a matter of grave concern that IOL did not upload the longer version of the video when it came into their possession. Grave concern, not something to be upset about. Grave concern. Furthermore, when the Independent Line updated its article, it again failed to upload the longer video and simply noted that it has been made aware of it and it has seen it. To compound this omission, it included a link to an article that disputed the complainant's argument that the video provided a context. So they linked themselves to their own article to further slander or to libel Renaldo. Oh, my goodness. As stated above in 3.15, the issue is not whether or not the longer video does indeed provide an acceptable explanation or context. The point is that the full version should have been uploaded and become available to enable viewers to make their own minds. For this reason, the IOL's failure to upload the longer video when it obtained it is in transgression of 10.2. So here's the finding. The complaint that the article is in breach of Clause 1.1 is dismissed. I already explained that. 1.2 is dismissed, 1.3 is dismissed, 1.7 is dismissed. Well, they have no choice. They were not in the IOL offices. They don't have video and camera of the actions they took. All they can do is take them at their word. They can't prove otherwise. However, the complaint that the article is in breach of Clause 1.8 is upheld. The complaint that the article is in breach of Clause 1.9 is upheld. The complaint the article is in breach of 2.1 is upheld. And the complaint that the article is in breach of Clause 10.2 is upheld. Firstly, IOL is required to publish an apology to the complainant for breaching Clauses 1.8, 1.9, 2.1, and 10.2, and should be published at the earliest opportunity after the time for an application for leave to appeal has lapsed or in the event of such an application. After that ruling, be published online on IOL's landing page for 5 days, as well as on all platforms where the article was published. Be published with a headline including the words apology and Renaldo Gouws. Be published with a link to the updated online article. Refer to the complaint that was lodged with this office. Apologize for not uploading the full 6 minutes and 22 seconds of the video when it became available, and for not giving Gouws an opportunity to comment on the full video, as this could lead readers to doubt their independence and professionalism. And end with the sentence, visit www.presscouncil.org.za for the full finding. Be published with the logo of the Press Council and be approved by the Deputy Press Ombudsman named below. Secondly, the updated article should publish a note under the headline, "Note, this article has been updated. See editor's note below, including an apology to Renaldo Gouws." The update should include the full 6 minutes and 22 seconds of video with comment from the complainant on a longer video. Editor's note should state when and how the article has been updated and should include a full apology to Renaldo as directed above. The final updates to the article should be approved by the Deputy Press Ombudsman. August 23rd, 2024, Tyrone August, Deputy Press Ombudsman. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a slam dunk. Boom, 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 boom. Done and dusted. The IOL is acting irresponsibly. And that's just one of their articles. Just one of their articles. Now, folks, we got a lot of irresponsible YouTubers out there running their mouth. Sorry, I keep getting these phone calls. It's election season. They're driving me nuts here. There are a lot of irresponsible people out there on YouTube who have published crimina injuria, who have slandered him. George, thank you for the super chat, George. Wow. 350 Rand super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's nice. That's nice. We're trying to beat last month's total, which is less than half of the previous month. All right, so let me go back here and see what's going on in the chat. So that's a readout of the actual decision. The link is in my other video, not this one, the other video. All right, so the greatest crap storm of our time, Marxist courts, is Patrick Green. Another freaking message here. This will have long-term negative effect on Renaldo's political career. Of course, it'll have a negative effect, and you can't take that back. It doesn't matter whether he's right. Mitt Romney didn't drive off on vacation with his dog strapped to the top of the car and kill him. But dingy Harry Reid told the world that, and they bought it. Donald Trump never banned Muslims from coming to America. That's a lie. But Nancy Pelosi, using her congressional letterhead and taxpayer-funded resources, had a press conference and lied and said Donald Trump banned Muslims from 6 countries from coming to America. It's a total lie. It's a fiction. It's bullshit. Context would have been on the day that Donald Trump signed executive order banning people coming from 6 predominantly Muslim countries from coming here as immigrants, not tourists, not business visitors, not university students, not visiting family members. None of those people were banned. But people who wanted to immigrate to America couldn't come from the 6 countries. The same day that was done, Donald Trump also lifted the Obama ban on Chad, a predominantly black Muslim country in the Sahel. Those people can come to America again if they want to live here. But that's context. That's objectivity. That's truth. That's something politicians and the media don't know about. They double down. Yeah, the chicken's going to come home with a roost for them. Exactly. Sorry, I keep coughing, folks. Charles says the video in that form was altered. So why would Renaldo have any recollection of a particular video is not? Well, not just that, but they gave him 1 hour. They didn't tell him the video. They didn't send him the video. They didn't give him the links. They didn't give him the screenshot. Only after the fact, after they threatened him, did they provide some of that. Okay, you cannot put an hour as a cutoff for a response, especially if you're not seeing the video. Exactly. Hey, Julie, how's it going? Good to see you there. They trap themselves in their own rhetoric. Exactly. But the problem is they aren't held to account. Now people need to be held to account. Fact schmacks, that was not their intention. Who needs the truth when you can make it up? Exactly. Samantha Horn says, hey, long time, Samantha. IOL also accused some poor comedian Durbin. Yeah, no, I covered that story as well. And then they doubled down and defended that wackadoodle, was he black or colored Indian? I don't remember. And the crazy looking white chick, staring at the camera, made the video. I did that. Let's see if I can find that. Let me do an IOL search. I talked about that. IOL. IOL with the War News Media launches War of Words. Come on, is that? Well, I got 8 videos. Show them all. So let me see. Oh, there it is. That was from July 20th. Ghulam Mohammed Yaqub Vadwa in the IOL saga. I got 1,000 views. I got 1,000 views on that. That's it. Wow. That's a shame. I actually reported that story accurately from the outset. No, IOL's in deep kimchi here. They're in trouble. Yep. Yeah, they outed him. They doxed him illegally. All this, they did so many things in violation of South African law, and they're just their behavior because their desire to get the Ghulam account. Boy, they're desperate to find out who's behind Ghulam. They've claimed it's 6 different people over time. They, not just IOL, but the people trying to out him. Press only interested in ruining people's lives. Yeah, exactly. Madeline Donaldson, thank you, Colonel. Happy for this outcome. Well, but it's not over yet, as I don't even know what that is. Someone's just got a bunch of postmarks, and he's got this freaking eye of triangle there. It says a bigger than IOL also copied IOL and called him racist and showed the partial video. I think it was Daily Post, an Indian news channel who targets BRICS viewers mostly. It's massive. I'm unaware of that. I only read 1 or 2 Indian news sites. I don't know all of them. So really pleased to hear the news. It's good. I also saw memes of Hose on 9. What is 9gag? I don't know what 9gag. I don't see. These are things I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. And thank you for your great reporting system, Samantha. It's my pleasure. The biggest problem is that the Human Rights Council is not the government of national unity and still guard. It needs to change. If they change, then most drama country stop. Yes, the South African Human Rights Council or Commission or whatever they're called is just, they're out of control. These people are interested in political distortion, not justice and not right and wrong. Yep. Whoops, got ahead of me there. Mouthpiece. Yep, they are a mouthpiece. Greetings from Vienna. Krokotopia is in Wien. Na, Krokotopia, wie geht's? Was passiert dann eigentlich jetzt in Österreich, in Wien? Könntest du mir sagen, Bescheid sagen, was los ist in Wien? Ist Vienna calling? Das war ein Lied von Falco. Dylan Combrick, welcome. Again, boycotted them forever. Well, Samantha, I have to cover them because I cover the news. And otherwise we'd know this story. Plus they attack people. So why is she supporting him? Who, Green Phantom? U.S. immigration is a huge pain for the, unless you are doing it illegally. Exactly. Yep. Last visit was when the shilling was still going strong. Oh, you lived there for 4 years. I didn't know that. Julie says, catch you later, buffering. Sorry about that, Julie. Just pause the video, wait 60 seconds, and then play it. You'll be okay. Trust me, it works that way. What products do you use? Your hair grows faster than grass. I don't use any products. This is all me. This is all natural. There are no hair products here, folks. I just use shampoo. And I normally wash my hair once a day. That's it. Yeah, my hair does grow fast. That's for sure. And I'm not a hairy person. I don't have a hairy chest. See? No hair there. Yep. Anyway. IML may be in deep trouble, but will they learn or change? They won't. They won't learn. Canada will impose 100% tariffs. I covered that yesterday at Kano. Yep. Also, aluminum steel I covered as well. Mark Sayers is here. And Chris Ehlers. I did see Chris earlier, but I didn't mention Chris. The countdown is on. Okay. So there you have it, folks. Let me do a poll. Start a poll. Okay. Did IOL behave poorly? I think I know the answer on that one. That's kind of a jerry-rigged poll. I think it's going to be mostly everybody yes. All right. So we've consumed nearly an hour there. We've got a lot of news to get to here. So those of you tuned in for that, you got to hear the press council vindicating, not Vindaloo. There's no chicken Vindaloo for Ronaldo, just the vindication. Sorry, no Vindaloo for you. Sorry, no Vindaloo. By the way, my phone had operating system updated. My software, that's why I was 3 minutes late. I don't know what's going on with my Streamlabs. It kept acting all wonky. It wasn't responsive. Then the wallpaper filled up the whole entire window. I couldn't see the controls. I had to reboot it 4 or 5 times. I have to reboot my computer when I'm done here today, I think, and reboot my router. It's time. They're just running nonstop. A follicle-infested scalp. Well, that's a good problem to have. A woman saying Trump stopped Muslims from traveling. Oh, gotcha, Green Phantom. So what did you say prior to that? Let me go back and see what Green Phantom said prior to that, because he said something I didn't understand it. Well, I don't understand your point. Why she's supporting him? No. Nancy Pelosi lied about Donald Trump, and I did that. I called out at the time, but it doesn't matter. All you got is so I saw today an Al Jazeera article from an American saying Muslim votes matter in America, in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan. It's the Muslims are going to decide who wins. No, because then they conflate Arab with Muslim. Arabs are not Muslim. Yes, I know the vast majority of Arabs are Muslim in the 21st century, but Arabs are also Christian and Druze, and some are actually Jews. Did you know that? Jewish Arabs. Yes, it's true. But there are plenty of Christian Arabs. In fact, most Arabs in this country until the 1990s were Christians. Syrian, Iraqi, Lebanese especially. Christian Arabs who came to this country at the turn of the 20th century for the last decade of the century prior and the first 2 decades of this century through World War I. There were Christian Arabs. So most Arabs living in Michigan and Pennsylvania, in Georgia, until the 1990s were not Muslim. So she conflates Muslim and Arab. They're not the same. It's like saying Muslims are all Arabs. They're not. The largest Muslim country in the world is not Algeria. It's not Egypt. Nope. Not Saudi Arabia. Indonesia. Those people are not even remotely Arab. And one of the other largest countries in the world with Muslims is not even Arab either. They're Persians. It's called Iran. Yeah. And Muslims live all over the world. So anyway. Oh, it's a joke. Sorry, Green Phantom. I didn't know. Didn't know. Chris, bedarf yourself. Bedarf? I don't even know what that means, Andre Rue. Don't know what that means. Seriously needs to be harsher legal repercussions. Exactly. There does. Vindaloo makes for hot poo, says Garrett. Arctic says that my poll poorly is a poor word because they act like motivated, paid off hack dickheads. And it's like, not all Muslims are Arabs, or not all Arabs are Muslims. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's of my opinion, a lot of Americans don't Muslims. Don't what Muslims? Don't like Muslims? Almost all my Arab clients that own restaurants in Amsterdam are Christian. Yep. There you go, Icono. There you go. Charles is laughing at Indonesia. What are you laughing at Indonesia? There's 242 million Muslims in Indonesia. There's a lot there, man. Yep, Iranians and Persians. Oh, Bedef. Okay. All right. Okay. Bedürf. So it's similar to German. In German, the word to spoil is verwöhnen, and it's reflexive, so it has to take on a reflexive pronoun. So, verwöhnt sich. Spoils himself. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I could see that. I didn't catch on to it. Arctic says, call me a liar. Okay, you're a liar. Is Linda Scott here? Hey, Linda. Oh, my goodness. Linda, oh, my gosh. It's been donkey years. Are you down on the farm or are you actually in civilization right now? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Linda Scott. I haven't seen her on my channel in 2 years, I think. Maybe I've missed her here, but Linda, welcome. You're very welcome, Linda. Look, he's a good egg and he was done wrong. And from the outset, I have been objective about this. I said it was not a wise video to make. I also said that what was being done was illegitimate and the press was being irresponsible. And those people calling him a racist don't know him. Now, if he is or ever was a racist, I've never seen it. Never seen it. Never seen it. So, but you know, I was objective from the very beginning. So, Linda, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure. And hopefully all will come right. And I'll say this much. If, in fact, the South African Human Rights Council or Commission case goes away, or he wins the case, and he does sue any of these media outlets, and he does get a bunch of money, I'll tell you this. The next time I come to Pete, he better damn well pay for my hotel. I'm just saying. Quid pro quo. Now, come on, folks. These are jokes. Relax. Get a grip. Oh, you're down on the farm. I'm surprised you have a connection. Yikes. Oh, don't get me started with the pumpkin spice latte. It's going to have to be a hand carry item next time. That was such a pain sending that stuff. Woof. $342 US to send that next day, next day air through DHL. And guess what? It got there in 2 days. But then the crooked customs officials held it hostage for 7 weeks until Ronaldo paid a ransom for it. And that box had the caps, the Trump caps, because there were South Africans who wanted Trump caps. Yep. Remember that. Marty from Balen, welcome back to you. Art Physician says to Arctic, you're a liar, just like that. Why do I never see Colonel Chris on Twitter feed or on these topics? Are you shadow banned there or not posting? Really need to post your videos. I do post my videos. I'm on Twitter. Nobody follows me on Twitter. Nobody. I mean, I don't know if I'm shadow banned from back when the leftists ran or whatever, but I have been on Twitter since this account, which was not my original account, but my second account, this account since 2006. Here, I'm going to show you the Twitter. Here you go. There you go. There you go right there. Colonel Chris Wyatt. 11,900 posts. 11,000. I have 1,800 followers. Are you serious? 1,800 followers. And I have been on here for... Since 2006. Oh, this says 2008. Sorry. 2008. So, yeah, I'm on here all the time. Let me find something I posted. Where's my post? Profile. Where's my post? Come on. These are not my posts. These are other people's posts I've responded to. I had a lot of those recently. So, my videos are on here, but God bless it. I've done a lot of responding lately. Where are my videos? Come on. There's got to be one where I published here. Look at this. I did a lot of responding because it was late night the other night. Oh, here you go. Here's one I posted. So here's one I did. Former Democrats team up with patriotic American conservatives to unseat twisted relic once known as the Democratic Party and its selected, not elected candidate. And on that, I got, doesn't even tell me how many people I get engagements. 42 views. No quotes. 42 views. 1,800. I've been, so it's WMW Chris. At WMW Chris. I've been on Twitter on that account since 2008. I've been on Twitter since around 2006. Okay. I agree, Chris, but then you'll have to visit the farm. Yes, Linda, I need to come out to the farm. Absolutely. Next time I need to come out. I mean, I'm running out of reasons to go to PE with Renaldo now serving in Parliament, Cape Town. I've got visits to see Byron Shepherd. I got to have a reason to come. Chris has been banned there. Okay, I think everyone in chat must follow you. Put up a poll, Chris. We follow you. Vote yes. Okay. All right. So almost everybody said that IOL behaved badly. Okay. Not everyone did, though. That's fine. People's opinions. So do you follow at WMW Chris on Twitter? X. All right. There you go. So there's the poll. It's up. No link in the YouTube describer. Link to X. What? Derek Bota says no link in the YouTube descriptor. Link to X. Really? Is that true? Let me see. Find one of my videos here. Okay. Let's see. You're right. TikTok's on there. YouTube's on there. Beacons is on there. Oh, the reason it's not there is because there's a link to the link tree. The link tree will take you there. Let me see if that's still even active. Yeah, there you go. That's why it's not there. That's why. Because I went with this nonsense a few years ago. So we got Chris Wyatt Africa and Dob Africa on locals, newsletters. So my Twitter's on here, somewhere down here. Anyway. That's why you didn't see it on there. But I suppose I should put it back there. But, I mean, nobody even reads the description anymore. Every time, I remember a couple years ago, people were trying to give me a hard time about, you need to put stuff in your description of your videos. I put stuff and no one ever reads it. So, anyway. Cat Turd account's very good. Yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah, Cat Turd, that's his job now. That's what he does. He's just an entertaining guy, I suppose. But not on Twitter. Well, I'm on Gitter. I'm on Parler. I'm on Gab. I'm on Truth Social. Almost nobody follows me on any of those. Yep. So here, let me just do Gitter. Okay. And then Truth Social. And I post all my videos on these. And then this is Parler. A lot of people don't even know Parler's still around because it went away. It's back. And I told you that a few weeks back on here. Gab. I've been waiting forever for it to come back. So Twitter. Okay, here's Gitter. When does it sign up? I hate this. This is so annoying. Gitter is annoying. It does this crap occasionally. Log in with QR code. Stupid nonsense. Oh my goodness. So I'm logged out of my Gitter account. That's annoying. That's Trump's acolyte that came up with this site. It's not very impressed, to be honest. Okay, go here. Now I got to go to the home page. Yeah, I don't want a newer version later. Damn it. I'm just trying to get into my damn app. Ugh, it's very frustrating. No, that's not what I want. I don't like Gitter because it's just a liar. They've been telling us for years that they're going to have... where's the damn... There it is. There it is. Okay. Log me in. Okay, so now it's logged. I had to use the QR code. So I'm logged into my Gitter account. But they said we're going to have live stream, but it's only for the friends of Trump that get to do it and that guy that runs the site. Here's my Truth Social. There's Parler. And there's Gab. Okay. All right, so Twitter we've seen already. So here's Gab. There's my Gab account. So let me go to my profile. It's WMW Chris again. Okay, why is it? Let me see my profile. There we go, profile. There we go. All right, and I'm confirmed on there. See, we got a Gitter ID. There you go. WMW Chris on Gitter. On Truth Social, I'm on there. What's my profile in here? And it's at Chris Wyatt. So on Truth Social, it's a little bit different. It's at Chris Wyatt. So let's change that so you guys can see that. So at Truth Social. This one's at Truth Social. Okay, and then Gab is also, I think, WMW. Yeah, it's also WMW Chris. So all of them, Twitter, Gitter, Parler, Gab, all at WMW Chris. Only Truth Social at Chris Wyatt's the one that's different. Because I was an early jumper onto the Truth Social. I was able to get Chris Wyatt before someone else did. Matthew loves to see old people struggle with tech. Well, then you're in the wrong place. I don't struggle with tech. I'm an IT pioneer. I've been using computers since IBM data punch cards. Use cassette tapes to load the operating system on Commodore CBM and PET PCs. 5 1/4, 3.5-inch floppies. The whole thing. The original MP3 player from Diamond Rio. Yep. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey. Yep, you're one of the few people. Why Fundenberg? I don't follow you on X because I'm not on X. Well, that's fine. You don't have to follow me there. How do you know we don't read stuff? Who said you're not reading? Does WhatsApp count as social media? Yeah, it sort of does, Matthew. Okay, a lot of people aren't on Twitter. Link to the WhatsApp group. Well, Hendo can put a link to the WhatsApp group in there. Gitter sounds like a Rudolph Hess movie. Most of this is French to me, says Robert. Yeah, I got you. Anyway. So yeah, 51 votes on that. So most people don't follow me on Twitter, see? Even my viewers here don't follow me on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is, I'm going to end it there, 50. So 3/4 of the 50 people, so that means 40 of the 50 people don't follow me on Twitter. I think one channel listening to you is more than enough, says John Jarvis. John Jarvis, thank you for your opinion. I was asked a question. I answered it. Done and dusted. No need for your commentary there. In South Africa, we most still on Facebook than YouTube. I don't use the face. I have a Facebook account too in Daba Africa, but that one I don't update as much because I get nothing from Facebook. Nothing at all. I tried it. Yep, nothing there. But yeah, I publish on Twitter all the time. I have a Discord account, but it's just a gaming site. Then with Twitter, you promote it each video and have a banner. YouTube overlay at bottom. Okay, I'm going to have to copy your message here to see what you're saying. Okay, I got what you're saying there. That's let me. God bless, I got a lot of text files open. I didn't realize I had that many open. Whew, maybe that's why my computer's slowing down. Now, it shouldn't be text files. It should only be a couple of kilobytes of RAM. Answers, follow me on Twitter. Come on, Chris. The Zuckerberg said sorry. Oh, yeah, that's the story. We got to get to that. Oh, my goodness. Zuckerberg apologized, didn't he? Thank you for the ideas there, Fence Post. I'm going to call that guy Fence Post because I don't know what that is. When you were shut down, we followed you on Facebook. That's true, Marilyn. I had to do live streams on Facebook for a week. Yep. Yeah, Twitch is also a leftist site that censors people. I have a Twitch account. I have a Kick account now. You know, I have all kinds of accounts, but no one goes anywhere. You know, they don't get any traction. So let's take a look at the Renaldo video and see how that's doing. Okay. We're now over 4,000 views on that. So, 18,450. Getting some more subscribers, courtesy of it. Finally got a dislike on it. One of the haters finally found my video on Renaldo. I got 485 likes, 485 and 1 dislike. What's it like to be outnumbered 484 to 1? You sound like Battle Blood River, outnumbered 484 to 1. All right, the views have started to climb up again this hour on that video, but it's still slowed down a bit. The Roman video has slowed down precipitously. It was growing, and then it's dropped off here. So it's at 10,600. And I picked up 37 subscribers from that. The Renaldo video, I've got 16 subscribers. So between the two, about 50. So cool beans. Maybe Aiden Ross will give you a Kick deal. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't like Facebook. Is it raining lava in Italy yet? I don't know about that. Does he want help? Does who want help? Hey, Heart Sock, ZA. Welcome to Does Who Want Help? You want to be on platforms where you win over the change minds, not just where typical like-minded people, you're a force for change. Well, thank you for that Fence Post. And I tried that. And I got censored. And I got eliminated. And I got removed. And I get no traction. So I'm with you. I went to TikTok. Because that's where the youngins be hanging out on TikTok. I want to get the youngsters on my channel. And I had a TikTok because I'm an early adopter of everything. Don't be fooled by the truck bore beard and the Delarey appearance. Salia de Bois. Anyway, I had a TikTok account. Nothing. 300 people. And that is people from my YouTube channel went over mostly and watched it. And then I made a video on Kerry Lake in December of 2022 after the elections. I made a video on Kerry Lake and what was going on there. Boom! 160,000 views on that. And I know views on TikTok are not the same because people are thumbing through, but whatever the case is, that means 160,000 impressions. You want to call it that. 160,000 views and tens of thousands of people commenting on it. And then I went from 342 to 10,600. Whoa! Suddenly, in January of 2023, I started putting a lot of energy all through January, all through February, all through March into TikTok. But when I got to 10,600, a couple people falsely reported my live streams and claimed I said things I never said. And so my live streams were cut off and I was spanked. I couldn't do it for a week, a couple times, and it pissed me off. I posted videos and I went from 200,000 views on TikTok to 600 views. Now that's bullshit. Bullshit. 600 views, 300 views. So I stopped putting effort into TikTok. So I get what you're saying there, Fence Post, but I try to win people over on other platforms. So I went to Odyssey. Odyssey was an alternative platform. So I went to Rumble. But Rumble is only for people who are already famous. Yes, maybe the multiple live streaming platform thing is the thing to do now. Maybe. I don't know. Because the censorship has abated a bit on these platforms, but it was really bad 2 years ago. I mean, look, you guys have to understand, I'm still reeling from that. That was painful. I've never done anything wrong. Never done it. I never misused anybody, mistreat anybody. I treat everybody fairly, justly, morally. Always have. Regardless, whether I was in combat, whether I was in peacekeeping missions, whether I was building HIV clinics and I was fighting malaria, Ebola, or just teaching at university, I've always treated people fairly. Everyone on my team and not on my team. And the abuse that I got and the censorship that I got from the social media companies in this country and by hate wankers in South Africa and in the US is unbelievable. And I'm still here. Was asking if you don't do multiple stream because I hate YouTube. They are real trouble. Rumble, love it. More mature content. You also met my brother. Just wanted to come follow you. Hey, Hardsock. Awesome. I'm glad I met your brother. I apologize for not recognizing the name. You don't have to disclose it here. I hope it was a good experience for him and for me. As far as hating YouTube, I hate them too. But Rumble is shit. It's absolute shit. I don't know why people like Rumble. First off, for 2.5 years, greedy Gino, Dan Bongino promised us live streaming and never delivered it. Never delivered it. I waited 2.5 years. Then he delivered it and it was shit. You have to wait 45 seconds before your stream starts. You can't set it up with any software. OBS doesn't work with it. You've got to do a generic one. You've got to set it every single stream. Let me go to Rumble. I tried. I gave Rumble a huge effort and I put a lot of time and effort into it. It's actually, let me see. So I'm on my Rumble account. I'm still signed into that, thankfully. My content. Let me go to Rumble. Okay. I don't want content. I want channels. My channels. Here we go. I have 664 people on my channel. 664. And I have my own reserve thing. But let me show you what happens on Rumble. Rumble. I also have a locals account, by the way. Now they've merged. Biden drops out. 355 views on one of the most momentous news stories in the history of United States. 355 views. South Africa, Israel, and the ICGA, 276 views. My interview with Neil DeBeer, 171 views. The Jason Aldean thing on Try That in a Small Town, 154 views. Or 213 views, excuse me. Yep, not much there. Not much there. And I've done lives on here. But it's so cumbersome. Now, I haven't done it in months because maybe it's gotten better. Maybe it's gotten better. So, I don't know. Are you on Postove? I don't know what the hell that is. Postove. What's that? Some sort of porn site? Without Choz and Rahman, YouTube has been lacking appreciated, opinionated content. So is Rahman the next Choz? Oh, gosh, Fence Post. I mean, so you don't appreciate my content? My feelings are hurt. My feelings are hurt. Micro ISP, so censorship. Yeah, I got you, Hardsock. Well, again, at Crocotopia, that's right. I waited for Donald Trump. In the summer of 2020, before the election in 2020, I stated unequivocally, clearly, as it became clear that censorship was coming, and it was already there, that Donald Trump, if he somehow loses the election in 2020, that's what I said. You can go back and find on my original channel. Look for the videos if you're bored. I said Donald Trump should be having the people that run his empire building a social media site right now because they censored him on Twitter earlier in the year. I said they should build a social media company. And if Donald Trump leaves office and has a social media company that turns on in February of 2021, Donald Trump would be able to charge $20 a month and have 5 million people sign up just like that within 10 days. Within a month, he would have 25 million people paying $20 a month. Guaranteed, globally, 25 million. Do the math. We're talking billions of dollars of revenue every year without any advertising because it was Donald Trump at that time. But that site must provide a Facebook-like function for community, a Twitter-like function for short news, a broadcasting function like YouTube, and also have a payment system like PayPal. I said do that. And here we have Truth Social and also ran pathetic social media site that doesn't accomplish anything. Years later, that's what we have. Elon Musk is in the process of building X to be what I described for Trump a few years ago, but it's moving at glacial pace. He has the approval and license to turn it a finance function on, like PayPal, onto X. That was the first sign that he was going to do something. He's talking about doing video, but it's moving at too slow a pace. They got a lot of work to do. And by the way, in the meantime, the Department of Commerce and Federal Trade Commission are considering a breakup of Google because it's a monopoly. Yep. Facebook, X, and YouTube. Maybe. No, I'm not on OnlyFans. Gen X grew up watching the most offensive content. Now it seems they're feeling guilty and are all overcorrecting. That one way of looking at it, I'd rather just blame Gen Z. I'm not sure. Yeah, Marilyn, the passionate hater in Australia causing much grief, but that's not the only person. There's the person in Amsterdam who's causing problems, but they're minor people that don't matter. We managed it. Just give me a shout. Happy to walk you through it. Please send me a contact, Heartsock. The email address is up there. Send me a contact so I know. Okay, all right. Is TikTok not a China? Yeah, it is. It is a China thing. But I mean, you know what? The data's there. It's not like they're not going to find data on it. So this morning, PooTube paused my comments below any videos for a day just for saying, really? See that? Look at that. Wow. Crowder knows Rumble's a no-go. Yep, exactly. Crowder tried to go. Look, I mean, the way Rumble worked, folks, is that, look, I'm not trying to diss Rumble. I'm just saying that's not been a reliable platform for me. And I'm irritated how long it took. I mean, he never should have said we're offering live streaming. It's like the guys at Creado. Remember 2020? That was 4 years ago. Creado, a new creative platform. And I reached out to Jason Lerner, the president of Creado. And he wrote back to me personally in the early days when no one heard of Creado. When Nick Searcy did a video saying this thing's coming along. So we avoid Hollywood censorship for conservatives. And he said, you're exactly the kind of content creator we want, Colonel. You're the kind of person we want. We've got a spot reserved for you on Creado. Here it is 4 years later. There's no Creado. Let me look up Creado and see if anything even comes up. Creado. Doesn't even show up as a search. Creado Media, the future of entertainment. Really? Join the wait list. 4 years later, join the wait list. Creado. Wow. I actually bought a founding member membership. Hello, William Wyatt. Yep. And I'm signed in, but I get nothing for my membership. So they took my money and they've provided nothing. Welcome to Creado, established by a group of TV, film, music, and radio professionals. Our mission is to provide a better transparency, opportunities, and security protection for all our customers. Change the way they communicate by direct access. Unlike competing platforms, we will not be controlled by Wall Street or outside forces. Well, you're not controlled by anybody. 4 years later, we're still waiting. Do I have to be 95 before you do something? Ridiculous. They have a blog, but the blog is just about what they're doing. There's nothing here. Creado is just vaporware 4 years later. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. This morning, okay, yeah, so post stuff, man, mail by Dove like in old days. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Should reach out to Elon Musk, and people should like and share and tag him too. Elon has the same political mindset. Yeah, I've added Elon Musk on many of my tweets, and I've never heard from Elon Musk. I just don't get the traction with these people. So, be nice if he did. TikTok had a clip of Cool's River Rugby Club, hilarious. I didn't see that. Okay. $20 a month is outrageous. No, it's not, Green Phantom. I would pay $20 a month for uncensored, unbiased, unregulated, free exchange of ideas and commentary. Heck yeah, I'd pay it. Will RFK hold a cabinet position, and what will Elon Musk consult the incoming Trump? RFK will likely be the Health and Human Services Secretary when Trump becomes president, I believe. Yeah, well, Arctic, they said the same thing about AT&T. And AT&T was broken up. So it can happen. you ever seen Isaac Butterfield? No, don't know him. I tried to promote the book Chill the Boar. Oh, YouTube didn't like it. Okay. Garrett wants to know, where's the news? Yeah, Criado's just gathering dust. Yep. She knew kids wouldn't be able to survive the old 4 channel. What's this? EFF. What's this? EFF and about 200 are toying at a pig farm. Oh, I'm not surprised. Actually, that's one of my stories. Let me jump ahead and cover that news portion really quickly here. I have that news story. I want to talk about a couple things about it, okay? So back to the IOL. We started this program talking about Renaldo and the Independent Online. Here it is, the Independent Online, once again, race hustling. Now listen, the allegations are quite frightening if they're true. But the context doesn't obviate, big word alert, the context does not obviate the potential criminal act, nor the responsibility. But as I reported yesterday, the South African Human Rights Commission is selective, talking about how life is not valued on farms. Really? You never said that about Edward Neumeister or Brendan Horner or a host of other people I talked about who were murdered on farms. The Brunt family is silent on that. There's no South African Human Rights Commission case against the murderers of the Brunt family. No case. Clearly a racist murder. Nothing. No objectivity here whatsoever. The murder of these women and the shooting of this man on this farm was inappropriate. We have no evidence that they threatened anybody, they posed a danger to anybody. However, they were trespassing. That part of the story was never told until today. But the stories are written looking for sympathy, not objectivity. This is not supposed to be a sensationalist platform, the IOL. It's supposed to be a news reporting platform. You report all the facts, not selectively. But that's what they're good at, selective reporting. So let's just get to it. Popped in a while. Got my laptop, suffering from years of chaos by corrupt politicians. 30% of P, no power since Friday. Yeah, no, I heard pylons fell in substations. Good Lord. I heard that since Renaldo is no longer working as the ward counselor, that ward's going to crap. That's what someone told me. I don't know if it's true. I'll see that if I get back there again. But let's go ahead and get to the news now. So this is from the IOL. My intestines were out of my tummy. A man recounts being shot at Limpopo farm while collecting expired food. Okay, so that's the other piece of this. So 2 things were going on here that were never revealed. We were told that 2 women were murdered and thrown into a pigsty. That's factual. There was no context about who these women were or why they were there. They did give their names, and then they gave the names of the farmers. What they didn't tell you is that these people trespassed onto the farm and were stealing. Now, they're going to try to mitigate that by saying, well, it was disused food, it was tossed out. Doesn't matter. Now, that doesn't relieve the people who committed the homicide of any culpability whatsoever. Now, the hate wankers will try to steal this content. They will edit this content. They will doctor this content to make a claim that I'm stating something I'm not. What I'm simply stating is the media has an obligation to report the facts. If they want to report opinion, it needs to be on the op-ed page, the opinion editorial page, not in the news. And neglecting to give all the information is dishonest. And that's what's going on here. So they were trespassing, they were stealing, and they were shot. We don't know the context of it. Does not diminish what happened. RFK is going to be your CIA boss. No, he's not going to be a CIA boss. Not going to happen. And as far as Elon Musk and the administration, I wouldn't hold my breath on that. So, the man who survived the deadly Limpopo shooting where 2 women lost their lives has recounted the harrowing experience, and he escaped and left his wife gasping for life. So there he is right there. Mariah Makato, 47, and her 34-year-old Zimbabwean national, Kudze Ndlovu, went to the farm accompanied by her husband, where they were shot at. Only the husband survived. They said the community often go to the farm to collect dumped foodstuffs. The 3 accused men were charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder, 1 of attempted murder, and possession of unlicensed firearm. So, it's alleged on August 17th at a farm Onvergevakt under the Sabayang policing area, after a clover truck had dumped alleged expired or soon-to-expire goods, the 2 deceased and a surviving victim trespassing onto the farm to collect the above goods. Okay, so there's another aspect to this story too. Why are people going to steal food that is intended to feed pigs? Are the economic conditions under the ANC that bad that people have to steal pig fodder to survive? Wow. Now here's the other story. Again, looking for sympathy, and they only give the information out in dribs and drabs. Her kids are orphans. Woman shot dead at Limpopo farm while collecting expired food, has 4 children. And there she is. The accused men have been remanded in custody after they were arrested for the murder of 2 women. Mother of 4, 47-year-old Mariah Makato and 34-year-old Zimbabwean national Council Wyatt went to the farm, accompanied by her husband, where they were shot at. Only the husband survived. I went to the farm asking if they'd seen my sister. That's the brother. Okay, anyway. So, tragic story. But they don't bother to tell you that these women were, and these people were trespassing and stealing. And why do they have to trespass and steal pig fodder? That's pretty sad and depressing. The people who are accused of these brutal murders, if they're guilty. But here's the thing. See, the story is presented in this fashion. The way this is presented is like, oh, these evil white people murdered. First off, it's 2 whites and a black. The evil white people murdered these black people for no reason. Okay, I'm not justifying what happened. And I wouldn't even try to do that. I wasn't present. I don't know the facts of the case. But this wasn't some white farmers that went into a local village and just randomly murdered people. These were people trespassing a farm. What time of day was it? What were the circumstances? We don't know. None of that's going to justify the death, particularly the death. I mean, if they didn't do anything wrong, why would you throw them in a pigsty? That shows a disdain for human life. That certainly does. So, but the IOL just does this all the time. Country of Farmers. What's this? That just disappeared. Somebody's comment. I was going to read it. The media has an obligation to report facts. Sadly, they're not. They broadcast exactly what the government wants to drive as the narrative they driving hate and all this. Exactly. And that's why people like me get censored. Yep, because they don't want people to be objective. And that's why they facilitate and promote trolls who attack people. Media's okay. RFK is going to shine the light on a lot of evil. Perhaps. Journalistic integrity existing outside independent media is like hoping that the roosters will grow teeth. Journalistic integrity existing outside of independent media. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. So taxpayers have to fix this fool. Yeah, see, that's another piece. The Limpopo farmer phoned the police himself. Is that true? That's not being reported in the story. Why? Okay, so something doesn't make sense here. So, look, why would a farmer shoot 2 women stealing pig fodder on his farm and toss their bodies into a pigsty? I mean, why would that happen, first off? And then beyond that, if he did that, why would he call the cops? I mean, throwing the bodies in the pigsty gives the impression that they were hoping the pigs would eat it. But then I wouldn't eat the pig. That's just, anyway. Thank you, Vilma. Yeah, there's all kinds of things not being done here. But this is a story out of context and the facts not being presented. But that's what they do. That's what they do. I see people are leaving now. We're down to just 109 people. What's going on there? All right, let me take a look here. We dropped, 110. Thank you. The sisters who got arrested a while back when they were chasing livestock thieves. Yeah, they were 90 cops to arrest them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, chasing livestock thieves, and they turned into a racial thing. Yep, that's not what it was. They were shot and possibly fell in there. Okay, if they were shot and fell in there, then the people should have drugged them out and see if they're alive. Just because you shoot a trespasser doesn't mean you don't have an obligation. No, Marilyn, from what I can see from the story, I don't know. I'm not there. All I have is what's available in the media. And they're claiming that one of the bodies was partially eaten by the pigs in a pigsty. Yeah, of course those charges were dropped, RJ, because there was no crime. But again, back to my video with Renaldo. The problem with all of this is the preposition by white liberals and black supremacists to presume that white people are racist just because they're white. And the fact that the corporations and the media and governments allow this garbage to continue because it's racism is what it is. No, I know you're not questioning me, Marilyn. I'm puzzled by the whole thing. It's I was puzzled by the Brendan Horner thing when it happened. It didn't make any sense. Why would it be tied to a fence post and stabbed multiple times and executed? It didn't make any sense. He wasn't a farm owner. He didn't have any people working for him that he could have abused. He had no resources, no money. He was simply driving back in his ramshackle Bucky to go home after celebrating his 21st birthday. And he was accosted. He was tied to a fence post. He was tortured. He was stabbed multiple times. He was executed. Didn't make any sense. Still doesn't make any sense. Unless we take the argument that the police are complicit in the stock theft, that they did it to silence him. I thought, in my view, it was a domestic terrorism event. Yep. Innuendo makes a story. Yep, exactly. Narrative becomes truth. Well, we have to fight that. You can't let the narrative become truth. You have to tell the truth. Have to tell the truth. Verkeers de vlei. That's a tough word to say. Tough word to say. So I had lots of news to get to. So let me get to the next story. John Steenhuisen defends his selection of a appointment of a controversial right-winger to his office. Okay, here you go. All right. Okay, so let me do another poll, okay? We're going to do another poll, okay? Time for a poll. Still got 100 people here. Let's do a poll. Is Roman Kabanak controversial winger? Okay. Yes, no. Just a cheeky. Okay, so I have got cheeky. There we go. All right, so I got what's this? Oh. All right, so I got another poll up. Here you go. Is Roman Kabanak a controversial right-winger? So, here are your options. Yes, he's a controversial right-winger. No, he's not a controversial right-winger. Or he's a cheeky fire for effect bugger. Lack of admittance to the farm murders and the resulting terror and violence they induced by the government is incredible. Yep. Exactly, Flushing. Hey, there you are, Flushing. California proposal would make undocumented immigrants eligible for up to 150,000 state support home loans. That's old news, Icono. I reported on that 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah, and not native-born Californians. They don't get it. Fence post says, Jos and Roman does not shy what they say, but thinks Roman said he's colored, so he should be fine. I don't know if Roman thinks himself is colored. He's part Moroccan, so yeah. ANCEFF News 24 don't make you right wing. Exactly. Say he prefers kings over democracy. Prefers kings over democracy. That would make you right of center, politically right. Would make you right wing. Monarchies aren't right wing. That's what the press would have you believe. All right, I think I phrased the poll well. I gave you an option here. You've got an option. All right, back to the news. So John Steenhuisen defends his selection of Roman, and I'll tell you why. What he said. He said the appointment comes in the wake of another scandal involving controversial YouTuber and podcaster Renaldo Gouws. Well, we know where that's going. Kabanak founded Morning Shot and attempted to enter politics in 2019. He is a founding member of the Capitalist Party. This is almost exactly what City Press ran. So this guy gets a byline, and it's just cut and paste. I mean, go look at the City Press article. This is, most of this is cut and paste. Although this author took the things that could get him in trouble for criminal injury out of there, but that author right there, Kappa, has basically cut and pasted the entire article from the other one. There is a little more context because it basically says exactly the same things. The DA is investigating Gouws matter after videos of him using racist language surfaced. Actually, that's true. On Tuesday, Steenhuisen said he was puzzled by the connection between Gouws and Kabanak. So John Steenhuisen is throwing Ronaldo under the bus. Yeah, that's not a surprise. He said, Mr. Kabanak is fulfilling an internal administrative role, managing the staff and processes in the minister's office. His LLB law degree and 12 years as a legal consultant specializing in deceased estates have equipped him with an eye for detail and processes that are required when having to manage 2 offices and staff in 2 cities, and the complex flow of documents that need to be understood and signed in the ministry. Come again? 12 years as a legal consultant prepares him to lead teams. All right. Sinise added that he found it strange that the focus has been placed on someone who had not stolen money and never been involved in state capture or the abuse of public funds. 100%. Agreed. Meanwhile, social media is abuzz after Kavanagh cleansed his X account, deleting most of his posts. Well, he did do that. Go look up Roman. Most of it's gone. Yep, he's come under fire for questioning or denying the veracity of Sharpeville massacre. I didn't know that. So, interesting. And so if you're questioning the veracity of the Sharpeville massacre, why would you come under fire? There's a legitimate basis for questioning it. I don't question the official figures. How it happened, why it unfolded, that's the question that's never been fully answered by authorities or by the victims. Yep. In one of his tweets, he attributes South Africa's functioning largely thanks to Boers and Muslims having a lot of guns. What he's talking about there is Indians and Boers. So, and what's your point there? What's their point? Posts of Kavanagh brandishing firearms on social media also surfaced. And? Brandishing a firearm is bad? No, it's not. It's a God-given right. It's not a bad thing. In another tweet, he made remarks about Xhosa-speaking peoples flocking the Western Cape. So they're not flocking the Western Cape? They're not? The 2.1 million Xhosa in the Western Cape, they just happen to be there. I mean, after 9 frontier wars and the near obliteration of the Xhosa group, the 2.1 million people just magically showed up there, what, from the transporter? Scotty, pick me up! Bring me some Xhosa here in the Western Cape, now! I cannot do it, Captain! I'm just an engineer! You want me to transport 2.1 million Xhosa to the Western Cape? Just do it, Scotty. Scotty, please, transport the Xhosa. In July 2022, Roman tweeted, the mass immigration of poor Xhosa in the Western Cape has left a battered colored community fighting for resources. Hot full of Capetonian ethno-nationalist colored organizations want to protest. It's a statement of fact. It's a statement of fact. Colored community in the Western Cape is competing for resources with recent immigrants. How's that controversial? How is that even right wing? It's a statement of fact. It's an objective fact. Have the journalists who write this garbage ever been to the Cape Flats? They ever been there? I have. I was just there. Khayelitsha, Monenberg. It's not really the Cape Flats, Monenberg, but it's close enough. I've actually been there. She walked around. In May, he tweeted, Bantu people, much like Arabs, are not democratic people. They are monarchists at heart. Now, he's expressed a desire for monarchy, and he's basically, from that statement, from what I see, saying that Bantu folks and Arabs are just like him. So what is that? This is nonsensical. This is the article. RJ say Roman has already been scrubbed by the DA. Actually, I don't know your basis for stating that, RJ. I actually know the facts of the situation, and I'm not going to share that. It's not a matter of public knowledge. His old video, was it not gotten via the web archive? That's what they claim. That's what they claim. But Ronaldo, I think, is saying it's not true. And what about Malema brand? Yeah, exactly. News 24. Roman Kavanagh in a social media post was brandishing a firearm. Yeah, and? We have a video of Julius Malema firing a loaded weapon into the air, endangering public safety. And then someone altering the receiver on it to deceive forensics. That's not controversial right wing. So is Julius Malema right wing because he brandished a firearm? You can own firearms. That's correct. Is anyone else struggling with YouTube ad blocker violation thing? I don't know. 30%ers can't read. Okay. Ad blocker doesn't work. Yeah, I don't think it works. Yeah. Why would you block ads? You're depriving me of 1,000th of a cent. Deprive me of 1,000th of a cent. Let's get back to the news. So John Steenhuisen. Well, the EFF wants the former justice minister to resign. EFF wants Justice Minister Similani to resign over VBS Bank allegations. DA in Action SA, call for swift action from Parliament and the public protector. The EFF has called for the immediate resignation of Justice and Constitutional Development Minister Thembi Simelane over allegations she received a loan of more than $500,000 from a company that allegedly received unlawful funds from the VBS Mutual Fund. So, the company has allegedly received unlawful funds from VBS Mutual Bank, and they're not making any case about why that was illegitimate. So it's alleged, not proven, and it's illegitimate. I'm not in the habit of defending ANC members of government. However, this just in. The EFF has demanded the resignation of Floyd Shivambu, well, that already happened, and Julius Malema over the VBS scandal. Of course that didn't happen. Of course that didn't happen. Low water pressure driving people in Joburg nuts. Low water pressure and empty geysers leave Johannesburg residents at their wits' end. For more than a year, residents in Bertram's Joburg have had only a trickle of water from their taps, not enough to use washing machines or fill their geysers. The low water pressure, despite Bertram's being on the floor of the valley between Kensington and Linksfield Ridges, also makes it difficult to get enough water into toilet cisterns so they can be flushed. Yet residents say they are still receiving high water bills. Why are they getting high water bill if they're not getting any water? I think that's a potential fraudulent situation that needs to be looked into by authorities. Well, crime is surging across South Africa, and you wouldn't know it from Statistics South Africa. The South African Police Service is covering up and delaying their crime statistics, releasing them 2 quarters in arrears. However, the Victims of Crime survey does show that it's really up. Now, this is not complete, but it does show really sad things. The VOC survey looks at crimes through a victim's experience, including significant number of crimes that go unreported. In Louisville official crime statistics, they indicate that crime levels have surged. Assault from 68,000 in 2022-23 to 129,000 last year. It's an 89% increase. Damage to dwellings from 65,000 to 129,000. That's a 96% increase. Sexual offenses from 11,000 to 22,000. That's a 100% increase. Wow. Over a 5-year period, things are also looking pretty bleak. Damage to dwellings is up 44% over a 5-year period. It's pretty scary, folks. Crime is out of control in South Africa. Now, again, these aren't official statistics from the police because they aren't bothering to report. They're in arrears. Police have seized more than 4 million rand in fake U.S. dollars. Huge arrest taking place. Operation comes a day after Mayor Cyril Kaba signed an agreement with Public Works Minister Deon McPherson to rejuvenate the inner city of Durban. Police seized counterfeit U.S. dollars worth more than 4 million rand and hundreds of rounds of ammunition, arrested more than 100 undocumented foreigners. Stephen Carletti just subscribed. Thank you for that, Stephen. Wow. That's crazy. Well, Thabo and Becky, searching for relevance, warns about Afrophobia, as if we're afraid of Africa. He said it could be used by counter-revolutionaries, and he takes aim at Gate McKenzie. Oh, Thabo, are you back at Oxford? Are you back at Oxford, Thabo? Counter-revolutionary, you leftist Marxist turdball. Yes. Former President Thabo Mbeki has drawn parallels between the UK and South Africa, warning negative forces could use xenophobic Afrophobia to engage in a moronic inferno, and labeling sports, arts, and culture minister Gate McKenzie as being one such proponent. Oh, my goodness. Thabo Mbeki, so desperate for attention. 27 Justice Department officials dismissed for misconduct in South Africa. Offenses range from fraud, theft, sexual harassment to absenteeism. 27. Wow. They're dealing with 81 appeal matters regarding 55 dismissals and 25 suspensions and 1 warning. People are appealing a warning. That's interesting. I guess they think they didn't do it. Well, Google's TV giant in South Africa, this is another Chinese company. Skyworth, manufacturing televisions in South Africa. Founded in 1988 in Shenzhen, China, but only came to South Africa in June 2014 when it acquired Sinotech, another Chinese company. And now they're the largest electronics company in all of Africa, producing 300,000 televisions annually from their factory in KwaZulu-Natal. Well, South Africa's army has a huge liability for lawsuits. 1.5 billion headache for South Africa's army. Yep. There's Miss 30%er, Angie Mitseka, right there. Yep. 1.55 billion in claims against the department is up from 780 million, half that recorded 10 years ago. So they owe human resources labor-related claims, 419 million rand, unlawful assault, arrest, detention, prosecution, 376 million, and the list goes on to 1.55 billion. But that's nothing, folks. SAPS has a much worse situation. Wow. Recklessness, negligence, and misconduct cases for SAPS are 65.3 billion rand. 65.3 billion rand, over 40 times larger than that of the Sandev. Wow. A Northern Cape man, 21 years of age, has been sentenced to 14 years in prison for cutting a cable in Kimberley. While that's dangerous, a railway signal, a lot of murderers seem to be getting a lot less. 21-year-old David van Wyk will spend the next decade and a half behind bars after being convicted and sentenced for tampering with essential infrastructure. Yep. Wow. That's a pretty harsh sentence. 14 years in prison for that. Well, campaigns are underway in neighboring Mozambique for its election upcoming, folks. Yep. 45-day election campaign where they'll choose a successor to term-limited President Filipe Nyusi, who steps down in January at the end of his second 5-year term. More than 17 million registered voters will choose the next head of state and 250 members of parliament. And it's a wide open race with the opposition actually doing pretty well, an independent guy. A dam collapsed in eastern Sudan after heavy rainfall and dozens of people are missing. That's the aftermath of the destroyed Arbat Dam, 40 kilometers north of Port Sudan. Heavy rains and torrential floods caused its collapse. Must have been an earthen dam. In a statement late Sunday, the ministry said the Arbat Dam had collapsed and resources have been deployed to the area to help people who've been stranded. More than 100 people are missing. Wow. Sudan doesn't have enough problems. At least 100 people murdered over the weekend in Burkina Faso in the latest jihadist attack. Well, how's that military coup going for you, Burkina Faso? At least 100 villagers and soldiers were killed in central Burkina Faso during a weekend attack on the village by al-Qaeda-linked jihadis, according to videos of the violence analyzed by a regional specialist who's described the assault as one of the deadliest this year in the conflict-battered West African nation. My goodness. More tragedy in Burkina Faso. The United States and African militaries are holding a conference in Zambia to discuss legal advisors and their role in troop deployments. More than 30 African countries will be represented at the military law conference set to take place today in Lusaka. Discuss the role of legal advisors in the deployment of troops in conflicts that threaten stability across Africa. 4-day African military law forum will be hosted by the Zambian Defense Force and the U.S. Africa Command, as well as U.S. Army Europe and Africa and the North Carolina National Guard. North Carolina National Guard, do they also have now Zambia? Well, that's crazy. They only had Botswana before. Well, the release of a hostage found alive, an Arab Bedouin Muslim released. Qaid Farhan al-Qadi, a 52-year-old, spent 326 days in captivity in Gaza before he was rescued by Israeli troops in a complex operation. A member of Israel's Bedouin Arab minority, he was rescued from an underground tunnel in the southern Gaza Strip, adding that troops followed accurate intelligence to rescue him. Well, thank goodness he was survived. An Arab. So it's not just Jews. As I said, Christians, Buddhists, Jews, all attacked by these scumbags. All right, what's going on over here in the chat? Roman is a lawyer, yes, with experience in management companies and staff. He's also qualified for BE, no? I don't know. When you question Sharpeville, you're automatically labeled right-wing regardless of politics. But what does he have in the web archive machine? I don't know. Okay, it's worse. They played it down. Okay. It was anti-government. That idiot woman was in charge. Okay. Heard ad block. Okay, you guys talking about ad block. My great aunt was beaten to death in her house with an iron bar. Spent her life saving lives. Spoke Kosa better than young Kosa. Retired surgical nurse. Beryl Morgan. I'm so sorry to hear that, Richard. It's just sick. It's just sick. And the fact that they deny it is horrible. Sorry to hear that. I was held at gunpoint by the head of gangs policing in Pretoria, a color guy. He's a colonel. Good Lord, Hartsock. This is too terrible. So, yeah, if that's Richard's aunt. Kevin Ziller said, good TV, I have one. Okay, if you say so. Silverton, okay. Julius Blaine was a very scared puppy. Yes, 2IC fled, yep. Where does the commander and thief run? MWeb have sent me for collections, even though they sent a confirmation email that I canceled my internet with them, and that they'd taken 900 for the month of July without line transfer done. Wow. The racist British who built the dam. All right, I'm going to end the poll there. Let's end that poll. Come on. End the poll. So, your consequences were, is he right wing or no? A cheeky fire for effect bugger, 44%. They said we had to give them 30 days notice, but the arrogance from them referring me to collections. Oh, yeah, I got you. I have since blocked. Yeah, okay, got you. Okay. All right, so back to the conversation with the news here. Where are we at here? Okay, get back here. Sorry. Japan says China violated airspace. Oof, this is getting crazy in Asia, man. Chinese airspace incursion is a serious violation of our sovereignty. Tokyo summoned the Chinese ambassador and lodged a protest after a surveillance plane was detected Monday morning. Japan said the violation of its airspace by a Chinese military spy plane was utterly unacceptable. Speaking in a news conference, Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshimasa Hayashi said the airspace breach, the first by military aircraft, was not only a serious violation, but also threatens our security. Wow. And after that, we see that, whoop, that's not right. Something happened there. Female journalist silenced on air after the Taliban says that women can't be seen from in public. Thank you, Joe Biden, for this. The Taliban-controlled state broadcaster in Afghanistan silenced a female journalist in her image during a live media event Tuesday, apparently in compliance with the radical ruler's recently enacted morality law that bans women from speaking or showing their faces in public. Well, thank you, Joe Biden, for the imprisonment of women in Afghanistan. Something missing. I lost the story there in Japan. Here it is. There, I got it now. It somehow disappeared. Manila and Tokyo both file or unleash verbal... Stop that. On broadsides at Beijing over recent aggression. Chinese naval air maneuvers, a source of growing strain for allies. That's the Philippine Defense Minister Gilberto Teodoro. He gestures during a speech at International Military Conference back in, well, it's today, August 27th. In separate briefings Tuesday, the Philippines called China the biggest disruptor of peace in the region, while Japan lambasted Beijing as a threat to our safety. It's getting crazy out there in Asia, folks, and Joe Biden's asleep at the wheel. Chinese government has stepped up its efforts to break into internet service providers here in America, dramatically stepped up from where they used to be, says a former U.S. top cybersecurity official. Chinese government-backed hackers have penetrated deep into U.S. internet service providers in recent months to spy on their users, according to people familiar with ongoing American response and private security researchers. It's business as usual now for China, but that has dramatically stepped up from where it used to be, in an order of magnitude worse. Yep. It's getting crazy out there. They are into everything. So you don't have to worry about having a TikTok account because they're all over the place. Former Malaysian Prime Minister charged with sedition over comments about the king. Free speech under assault all over the world. And now opposition leaders accused of insulting the previous king during an election campaign earlier this month. Now, here's what the charges relate to. The charges relate to comments he made on August 14th while campaigning for his election in the conservative Perikatan National Alliance. He could face 3 years in prison if found guilty. According to Malaysian media outlets, he questioned why then-King Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah did not invite him to be prime minister following the elections in November of 2022. No, I didn't mumble. I didn't stumble. That's what I said. He questioned why the then-King Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah did not invite him to be prime minister following elections in 2022. How is that sedition, and how does that insult the monarchy? This is what's happening to free speech, folks. It's disappearing all over the world. Unbelievable. Australia has capped the number of foreign students coming in. The education minister says enrollments to be limited to just 270,000 in 2025 in a bid to create a better and fairer system. The problem is that Australia is inundated because education is one of its top 4 exports as foreign nationals pour into Australia, hundreds of thousands of them, 770,000 or 700,000 to be exact in this past year, attending university in Australia. It's the 4th largest source of foreign currency coming in the country, but it's driving up the cost of apartments and rentals. People can't afford housing because of all the students, so they've got a problem. Well, free speech also under threat, and once again, the Washington Times changed its image and changed the title. They need to stop doing that. That's not legitimate. Free speech crackdown sounds alarm. France jails Telegram founder. Rumble chief flees Europe. Rumble chief flees? I didn't see that. That's news. Wow. Where's the Rumble thing at? This is news. That wasn't in this story before. That's been updated since I put it on here earlier. Let me find a page. Rumble. Okay, find the next one. There you go. All right. Former White House National Security aide warned Elon Musk, who spoke out in support of Mr. Trump, to be nervous as a result. The leader of Rumble, a YouTube rival, quickly left the European continent. Wow. The leader, isn't that Dan Bongino? What is going on? Free speech is under assault in the United Kingdom, in South Africa, in the United States, in Malaysia, Indonesia. Well, Ronaldo, if he gets the big bucks from suing these outlets that have slandered him or libeled him or committed criminal injuria, here you go, folks. 6 homes selling for 26 to 66 million rand. Pam Golding, big property seller, big luxury property seller too. This house in Clifton sold for 66 million. No, thank you. It's on the edge of a cliff. I think it's hideous. This house in Camps Bay sold for 33.8 million. The houses next to it are like 2 feet away. No, thanks. It looks pretty, but modern, but people right next to you. No, thanks. This apartment in Moole Point sold for 27 million. I'm not paying 27 million for an apartment. That's ridiculous. This Constantia upper home sold for 54 million. Now we're talking. That's inland. Look at the mountain views in the background, the trees around it. It's huge. Got a nice pool. I'm liking that, but 54 million's a couple million out of my price range. And this Constantia upper home sold for 45 million. Now I like that one too. 45 million, a little close to my price range. Yep. And this Constantia home sold for 26 million. I don't really like the style of that one. It's kind of boring. Looks like you play croquet in the middle between the U-shaped house. So I'm not sure which one Ronaldo will buy with all that coin he's going to get, but I'm sure he'll get one of these at some point. Just saying. So there you go. I thought a little bit lighthearted stuff in the news as we go on. Well, more than 200 former Bush, McCain, and Romney staffers have endorsed Kamala Harris. George Bush, Mitt Romney, John McCain, endorsing Kamala Harris. They're not Republicans. They're not conservatives. More than 200 Republicans who work for President Bush, Senator Romney, and the late John McCain have endorsed Vice President Harris, warning in a letter that a second Trump presidency will hurt real everyday people and weaken our sacred institutions. Really? Funny, real everyday people were $9,800 per household richer during Trump's time. Millions of jobs were created. Don't give me they lost jobs. That was COVID scamming happened again. But in 3 years, that's the only part of the Trump administration that really matters, the first 3 years. Yeah. No, real people actually benefited immensely. These people are idiots. Mark Zuckerberg admits to Congress that they interfered in the elections. But we were told it was Russian and Macedonian server farms. Woo. Yeah. Zuckerberg admits to Congress COVID scam, Hunter Biden laptop suppression was wrong. He should be in prison. He should be in jail for fraud. The Biden regime repeatedly pressured Facebook to censor information about Rona in 2021. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg told House Republicans, adding he regrets taking down certain posts. I think you should regret being a human being. You're a slimy piece of human feces, Mark Zuckerberg. And Facebook is a vile, repulsive platform. There, I said it. Well, the greenies, getting rid of nuclear, getting rid of oil, getting rid of natural gas, even calling natural gas a greenhouse gas. It's not. Certainly not like methane. Anyway. Yeah. Well, now they're bringing back nuclear power plants. Look at this. 1960s control room. Can a closed nuclear power plant from the 1970s be brought back to life? Surging electricity demand means they got to do something. Michigan mothballed the Palisades nuclear plant in 2022. The facility looked like a perfect relic of nuclear power's 1970s heyday. Walls were painted salmon pink and pale green. Control panels had analog dials, manual switches, and hundreds of lights that flash green or red to indicate on or off. The valves, levers, and ductwork in the turbine room gave off a steampunk vibe. Steampunk. Just 2 years later, the 53-year-old plant's owners are implementing a historic decision to give it another go. The federal government and the state of Michigan are spending $2 billion to restart the reactor on the shores of Lake Michigan. $2 billion. Where's those solar panels now? Well, a judge has paused the corrupt Biden regime's effort to give citizenship to criminal alien invaders who marry Americans. The ruling favors 16 Republican-led states. And look at this. Look how they've whitewashed white men completely out of the picture. The only white man up there is an angry, demented, senile lunatic. Mayorkas isn't white. He's Hispanic. We're told that's not white. Chuck Schumer isn't white. He's Jewish. We're told that's not white. There's some old white guy in the back. Maybe he's white. I don't know. He looked kind of brown. Anyway, federal judge in Texas blocked a Biden administration program that could offer path to citizenship for up to 500,000 criminal alien invaders who married U.S. citizens. Well, there you go. It's about time somebody took responsibility for immigration in this country. And the Klamath Dam project is almost over to destroy the century-old dams that dammed up the Klamath River to save salmon. Native American groups since 2002 have been fighting to destroy these dams and alter the landscape and restore it to what it once was. Well, restoring to what it once was also has implications. The largest dam removal project is nearly complete after a lengthy campaign by native tribes to restore the river on the California-Oregon border. Salmon fry. That's juvenile Chinook salmon, known as salmon fry. And there's a dam that was removed. That was from February. They had already drained the reservoir behind it, as you can see, and now the dam has been removed. Yep. And here is the mudflats from what used to be a dam. And here are some dead invasive fish species that were there. Yep. So the dam's removal. Here's another one. The Kokpo Lake Reservoir. That one's gone too. Moving all the dams, restoring nature. Good, bad, indifferent. Who knows? We'll figure it out. 189 likes, 99 people currently here. A little bit of super chat revenue. Thank you for that. Why no salmon steps? Those were too steep to have salmon steps, Charles. There are 2 more dams remaining on the Klamath River, and they're upstream, but they're at a place where it's not so steep. Both have salmon runs, salmon steps, so they will remain. But the rest of them are taken down. Meantime, people in Oregon and California don't have any electricity, I guess. Where are they going to get it from? Yep. Alan Wendy's official residence is nice. I don't know. I've never seen it. Price of properties here in South Africa unaffordable to us locals, but perhaps you foreigners find that okay. Benjamin Labaskakni. Who in my stream is buying a house in South Africa? None of us are buying houses. However, I've been wise on voting ever since. Hey, Spiker Hunt, it's been a while. Coalition is a criminal event. I don't know about that. Zuckerberg is either Android or a lizard. I think he's a lizard person. Sea Point Camps Bay. I didn't know he had a mansion there. Look at all those controversial things Garrett Wilders said in his career, but he still won the elections and still to this day protected by armed security. Oh, yeah, well, not RFK Jr. He's not protected. Yep, so his politics are not democratic in the long term. Correct. The Constantia House is my style, says Charles. Let me see the second one. Okay, let me get back to that. The Constantia House. Come on. That's not it. Where's it at? Come on. Where is that darn thing at? Where are these houses at? I just had them here. Where did they go? Were they over here? I don't know where I did with those. There it is. Okay. That's because they were out of place. So the Constantia House, the second one. Okay. Camps Bay. Constantia. Actually, I like the second one too. That one's pretty cool. The first and second one are pretty cool. But the second one, it's got the thatched roof. That one I really like. So there you go. That's the second one there. 45 million. Ooh, I like that one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's huge too. Nice decks on it. This one doesn't have the same decks, but I like the layout of this one. It's I like the trees around this one too. Yeah, anyway. But they're both nice. Camps Bay. There you go. You can buy a cool house with your millions of US dollars. Millions of dollars, Michelle? Where are you talking about, man? Richard says, my granddaughter hit the age her eyes started to form hazel with a aha! Email, Richard. Hendo, you still here? One of the mods, put the email up, allaboutafrica2021@gmail.com. Allaboutafrica2021@gmail.com. Send me a link there or send me the photo there, Richard. Yeah, no, I wondered. I mean, you said your granddaughter is colored, well, part colored. She's 3/4 white, I guess. And it's common for blue or green eyes, hazel eyes for those kids. And it's very lovely with the skin hue, usually. Since standing down, Biden has been in the White House for 6 days. Who is running your country? Azrael, I have no idea who's running the country. Apparently it runs on autopilot. Our Chinese hospital ship is off to Angola. That's not a surprise. Richard says, thank you all. Antibarrel took the Timex meds and gave way retrovirals to street hookers, talked them out of abortions. Yeah, and her reward was to be beaten to death with a pipe. Sick. And Chris has got to go. Sorry to see you go, Chris. All right, but thanks for being here. Those Radisson apartments outside Oracle offices are dingy. Okay, thanks for sharing that, Paul. The house with the view of the mountain looks almost remote. It does, but I think it's just the trees around it. I don't think it's really remote. Camp space not remote. The whole world is moving to Cape Town, says Kevin. I'm not. I'm moving to Somerset West or Gordons Bay. Time to regulate criminal vote using blockchain. There's reason to believe it's been a racket for 120 years. People get mad when I say if 30 years ago that it would have governed today. Well, they can get mad. It doesn't mean that's your opinion, and there's nothing wrong with your opinion. They're welcome to be wrong. They're welcome to be wrong, folks. They're welcome to be wrong. Anyway. All right. Wow. We've been at this for 2 hours. I'm going to wrap it up here. But before I do, let me take a look on the Renaldo VIN, see if it's died off completely. It had slowed down earlier. Let's see where we're at. Where's it at? Oh, this is definitely not the right number there. It says that it has 5,500 still going up. Okay. Oh, it's picked up again this past hour. So getting about 1,100 views per hour. So on the front page, it tells me 5,500. So yeah, but it's not getting a little shiny thing. Usually I get this little shiny thing, the arrow acceleration, not doing that. Is just a fact that you're a billionaire, just like all Americans are rich Americans. Yeah, I'm rich. I'm a rich white guy. That's right. Yeah. I'd rather live in Gabon than Cape Town, says Arctic. Ooh, that's harsh. I wouldn't want to live in Gabon. It's too damn humid and hot and corrupt. No, thank you. I'd rather live in St. Helena. Watch a series called Bad Monkey. I don't know that. Ronaldo was never racist. Why irresponsible waving his 9mm? Oh, yeah, he did do that, didn't he? Now that the first leg of Seckerman's issue is done and he will be planning to leave South Africa, did he state if DA went with the ANC? He did say something like if the ANC wins the election, he might leave the country. I do recall that, but I don't think he really talked about a coalition between his party and them. So, yes, I'm not sure. Waving guns on TV, he needs to repent. I don't know about that. Anyway, all right, folks, thanks for being here, and I really appreciate it. Feel free to, I love the RFK speech. In fact, let me do that before we go. Okay? I'll play that again. This is the excerpt that I made of that. It's brilliant. Output, hang on. It's going to be RFK departure.
As you know.
Okay, so this is RFK. This was his speech that he was leaving the race. Part of it.
As you know, I left that party in October because it had departed so dramatically from the core values that I grew up with. It had become the party of war, censorship, corruption, big pharma, big tech, big ag, and big money.
Big money, big tech, big ag, the party of war. That's right. That's what the Democratic Party is, and the party of race hustling. Don't forget that, RFK. They're the party of racism, race hustling. All the people they claim to support are not the people they support. 195 likes. Any chance we get to 200 likes on this video? That'd be awesome. Somebody lost $10,000. Huh? No, he can't get his fixed voice. It's a degenerative issue. It wasn't his brother's background. It was his father. And they murdered his father and they murdered his uncle. Yep. This is the son of Bobby and Ethel Kennedy. Yep. She's still alive, by the way. She's up there. Yep. Almost 100, I think she is, Ethel Kennedy. Anyway. All right. On that note, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for being here. Be sure to watch my videos and let people know about it. Thanks for being here. And I need to take a break. 199 likes. We're almost there. So close to 200. So close. I must check Afrijet, Gabon's airline, to see if they fly to UK. Keith, that's an idea. RFK's brother died in World War II. Oh, that was his eldest brother. His other brother was assassinated. RFK, not RFK Jr. Yep. All right, cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time here on the program. Breaking news out of South Africa. Ronaldo has got his decision from the press ombudsman, and it was in his favor. Cheers, everybody. Thanks a lot. God bless.